Yeah. So previous on Lost then, our party, you made it your mission to try and sort out the admin of the town. It was a bureaucratic session where you talked to Sten, brought several of the people back to town, and effectively tried to put together a council, meeting Geoffrey, who had tried to take care of the militia. Let's see. So you met Goraz, you had Andro present, you had Sten present, and you were looking at provisional positions for some sort of ruling council. There's some sort of division of thought, I think, both amongst the various members of the town as well as the players, about how things should be done going forward. But law and order is a priority. That much was clear. A fair amount of the people saw and recognised you and were welcoming of your return. You had concerns that this Duraz had sealed off the southern docks and to make sure that food was distributed fairly. There are obviously issues with food supplies in the town. A lot of things were lost during the retaking, and it was also clear that Morthel's people had just scoured all the farmland for all the food that was available to support their army that they had. So the farmlands have been stripped clean. That food was brought into the town. Now it appears a lot of that is gone. So people are in need of food. Also, some individuals are seeing empty properties and saying, "That's mine." And they're just not just you. So that property may belong to somebody else who's just not been in the town. So that's a potential conflict that's on the horizon and something that needs to be dealt with, I think you conclude. Is there anything else that we talked about specifically last time that's worthwhile going over again?
No, just the people that we decided to put on the emergency council were Borrow, Sten, Andro, Garros and Geoffrey. And we're going to bring Deraz into the fold potentially.
Don't forget Bear, he was a quality council.
Yes, yes, Bear was the councillor.
Minority leader.
He's like the people's candidate.
Yeah.
And there are 6 triremes out at sea.
There are, yes. When you got down to the gate,
nature.
you could see the triremes out there. That's correct. Also, I suppose, since we brought up Borrow, and he indicated to you that Morthel had people who could look like other people.
Yes.
Mr. Lawmaster Borrow?
Yes.
Is he claiming he wasn't part of it?
We know that there was somebody who was at least posing as him at times, because that's something that you scribe.
Yes, and Malamir was lured out of his dungeon.
Yeah.
Not really a workshop, is it?
He's admitted that he's told them things, but he's tried to minimise what he's told them by telling them what he thinks they want to hear, or he's directed them to somewhere where it's going to cause the least damage, sort of thing. So he has admitted to helping, but to help the town at the same time, sort of thing.
Okay. Is he still the Lawmaster?
We put him on the temporary council of Lawmaster.
He's just Borrow.
Yeah.
I didn't write the positions, we should be them down. I just wrote these people on the council. The only one that I've got is Geoffrey, who's going to train Edwin up as the militia captain of the militia, because Geoffrey didn't want the responsibility and then outshine Father Howard.
All right. Alright, so we will pick this up then, with you all at the gateway to the southern docks being held in place. There it was Gordo that you'd spoken to, who said he'd send for Duraz. And then you decided to take an 8-hour rest.
That would be nice, but then waiting, tired.
Yeah. Okay, so for simplicity's sake, we'll have Rasvin catching them in the street and tagging along. How would you like to come into this, as you're a completely new party? Have you got any ideas about how and what you are doing in town?
Starhunter would have found his journey to town weird, as the last time he remembered anything, he was falling down a well. That was the story I gave myself, and have to ironically put myself out of my own hole. So I think upon arriving to town, he'd just sort of do what he knows best, sit down somewhere, and lay his cards down.
Okay.
See if anyone bites.
Alright, so we'll proceed and we'll see if we can find an appropriate juncture for you to appear.
Guessed.
Okay, so there you stand with Gordo. He looks on nervously towards Gartok, obviously towering over him.
Oh yeah, I remember that they declared some sort of like boundary line, and I'd gone and stood literally on top of it. Like,
There. Yeah.
Is Gordo the tiefling claiming?
No.
he's just some.
He's one
Henchman.
of Darius's guys who's controlling the gates into the southern docks.
So they literally walled it off.
Just so that
It was
they-
the
they're
archery. It was the
controlling-
gateway to the southern docks, wasn't it? So
Yeah.
there was a gateway.
Yes, there's an archway you pass under to
We've
get
been
into some
told
boxes.
that they're charging for entrance, but then they're saying that they're doing it to keep the food supplies rationed. So there's mixed opinions.
And how do people get their food? Do they have to go into said docks?
We don't know.
We are. We have come down to find out what's actually going on.
I will listen in the background for now.
So, you wait. 2 minutes passes. 3 minutes. 10 minutes passes. Still no sign of Duraz.
So, Gordon, what can you tell us about Duraz?
Well, what do you want to know?
What type of man is he?
I'd say a pretty decent one considering what he's trying to do.
As to make sure that the food's distributed, the ships come in a controlled manner.
Well, there's a lot of problems, and I think everybody just running in different directions. And he seemed to know what he was doing, and I've got to agree with him. If I didn't agree with him, I wouldn't have stood here.
What did he do before? Before the sack of the assassin?
What did he do?
Yeah.
I didn't ask him.
We never met before.
No, I'd never seen him before the thing. No, it's, well, sometimes everybody's just tipping over carts and ransacking warehouses. Then someone stands up with a loud enough voice and gets order. I'm going to get behind that.
Whilst we're talking, is there anybody else going through the archway, like normal civilians, or are they being stopped for anything by other guard
Nobody
forces?
passes through the archway. Nobody.
Are people wanting to try look at it?
Well, there's a couple of people who come up close, and I think when they see the situation, I mean, Gartok stood right on the boundary line, towering over this guy. I think I'll try in a bit.
Come back later.
Oh, I remembered I left my
left the oven on.
the
I've got a
garden
thing
gates
over there to
open.
do something with the thing.
So a couple of people do approach, but then back away from the situation. Now, whether that is because of Gartok or because of something else, who's to say?
So, how does the food get distributed? We've been here a short while, and I've not seen anybody coming and going.
Well, you get enough fish, There's no precious little else coming in at the moment, so fish is what we got. We get enough of it, we pass it up, and it gets sent on carts through to the market area. And people turn up, we hand it out to well, obviously I don't, but it gets handed out to people who come up. There's no charge for it, but it's making sure that one person doesn't end up with mounds of it and then charges an extortionate price to everybody else. And hopefully it won't last too long, and then we can get back to normal, and this won't be necessary. But people were going crazy. They were hanging people.
Were they?
Yeah.
So the fish is free when it comes out and is offered to people.
Yeah, that's right.
What sort of time of day do the carts normally come and go?
I don't think it's always the same time. It's usually afternoon, though.
It's whenever the ships have come in, that people have come in.
Usually the boats come back in mid-morning. They go out early, come back mid-morning, when they can get out in the harbour, of course. And that thing's caused a whole problem. He gestures to where the triremes are.
Do we know about these triremes, or they just...
We've seen them, haven't we?
Someone said to us, one of the Helvetian guards said to us that there was an elite group of Helvetians that are on their way as reinforcements. But other than that,
we don't know who the triremes are.
They look Helvetian in nature, is what I've got.
Okay.
yeah, I don't know.
So, who's spoken to the people on the triremes to you? It's possibly not a question for yourself.
Well, I think Duraz is trying to handle it.
Now or
Possibly. I didn't go down there myself. I sent a message. I had to stay here to sort of make sure you didn't break the rules.
You're doing a very good job.
So has he spoken to some of the people from the ships?
I don't know. They haven't brought the ships any closer. I know they did. There was like a smaller boat that came over from there, but I don't know if it was them or from one of the other ships. If you look out there, and as you look out, you can see there's a myriad of wrecked ships out there, and some normal boats that are a distance out, too large to perhaps get themselves into the dock, so they have smaller boats going backwards and forwards. So it could have been from the triremes, although I don't see anywhere that they could actually have a boat on unless they towed it behind.
Are they stopping the fishermen fishing?
I don't think so. There was some... It's a load of nonsense, but there was some issue to do with some monster in the water. But there's nothing.
Monster?
Somebody was pulling boats onto the rocks.
What, here?
Yeah. Over that way there. But...
You mean next to the... Is it the lighthouse?
The lighthouse, yeah.
You mean next to the big lighty house?
In that way, yeah. But it was... it's mostly drunks, and you don't want to pay too much attention to stories that sailors tell you.
Are they putting drunks into the water?
Well, plenty of the sailors can be drunk. Look, all I'm saying is that if you talk to a sailor, they're always going to have some story about something that's come out of the water, or,
Are you a sailor then?
I'm not a sailor, no.
You're telling stories.
Well, I'm telling a story about a story. I suppose it's a hearsay story, really. And I'm stone cold sober. And I'm also saying the story's not true. Well, their story isn't true.
Very good point.
Yeah.
So what did you do before?
Oh, dockhand.
Just what will happen if I break the rules? I'm just going to pace up and down his apparent border.
Well, I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, you're obviously very intimidating. I've given my word to try and defend this barrier to keep order. I'd have to try and stop you. Maybe I couldn't do that. I'd just have to hope that people here would see what you've done, and there'd be consequences for it in one way or the other.
I'm not asking for any special treatment, but why have we not got free reign over the city as we once did? Like any person in the city should come and go as they please.
I don't think I'm the person to make these arguments, do you?
But you're here now, you should have answers.
But we're not trying to steal fish. We just want to see Gerais.
Oh, well, I'm sure he'll be here as soon as he can.
It's been a long time.
It has been a long time.
Well, it's been about, what, quarter of an hour? I mean, there's a lot to do.
My friend Gartok's not the most patient of people.
I'm getting that.
I mean,
There is a
where
lot
is
to
he
do.
in the docks? Where is he?
I used to be a dockhand. I'm not psychic. I sent someone to go and get him.
But where did you send them?
To go and look for him.
Where does he usually hang out? Where does he?
Look, calm down. Calm down.
Perfectly calm.
You're not. You're not.
This is calm for him.
Well, it's not calm for a normal person. This is the sort of attitudes that
You're
cause
trying to say
problems.
I'm not a normal person.
I'm trying to say you're not behaving like a normal person.
As a minority leader of Mistas, I think that was a little bit racist what you said there.
What's one of those?
I look after the people that aren't the main people of the part of the town.
Oh, you've established there's a.
There is an emergency council, yes.
I'm sure Duraz will be pleased to hear that. He can sort something out with you.
That is
we're
what
here
we
to
are
talk
here
to
to
him
talk
about.
about.
Whether he wants a position.
Well, seeing as you formed a council, I'm sure you appreciate order and won't do anything to break the rules.
Which is why we are waiting patiently.
What is this? Is this just like a imaginary line on the floor? Is there?
There's nothing actually stopping you. There's just a gateway. There's some crates around, and pretty much you walked up and the guy said, "Whoa, stop there."
So I'm basically pasting a line in the sand. Just.
So rather than just punching him, I think we're just trying to.
Keep it together. Control yourself.
I think we should only give him a couple more minutes, and then I think we should go and see him.
We
I think we've been very
understand
patient.
that you're doing your best here, but it is worth noting that we have a lot to do.
You could come back later.
That's
You've got
not
other things
gonna
you could
happen.
do.
You know who we are, right?
I've got an idea who you are. You saying that means you get special treatment, don't have to obey any rules?
I'm just saying that we were the ones who took down Morcel.
So you could definitely take me down. I feel like I'm well aware of that.
No, it's not a threat. It's a case
Wasn't
of
it?
there's a lot to be doing.
I must say, and he raises his voice, I do feel quite threatened.
Oh God. Already?
Only you are in control of that, not us.
I must say, I think you're playing a part in it.
Does it look like anybody's coming up from the docks at all?
Make a perception check.
18 without anything added.
That might be a minus.
There are... Oh yeah, let's see.
Let's see what it is, because I have no idea with this guy. No, it's +1. It's 19.
Okay, so there are... let's bring the map up of the dock so we can see where we are. Let's get that off there. Whee. How long can they resist being the murder squad?
Oh my God,
He
you joined
raises
us.
his voice and says that he was feeling threatened as Harbinger starts saying, "Do you know who we are? I'm Karen!"
I must say it's an honour to be in presence of the murder squad. And I'm just going to be on the sides watching. I'm just looking down the dock.
I'm just really surprised they held it together for so long.
Yeah,
What's a bit, 50 minutes?
You almost have demanded to see the manager.
We fought
We
gods
are
for
the
longer.
manager. We're the manager. We demanded to see the customer and he won't come. God damn it. We're on the tannoy. Could you please come to the customer service desk?
Well,
You
We're
brought...
not there in 2 seconds. Why aren't they here?
I forget, did you or did you not bring Jeffrey with you?
We said no, we don't need you, Jeffrey. It'll be fine.
Knowing that you were going to do some murdering.
Yes,
If
we
he chose to
persuaded-
follow
That's
us.
too comfy. Yeah.
We persuaded Jeffrey to stay back in the halls.
Alright. So you're quite literally in this gap here.
Gartok's pacing like Darth Maul.
So
Essentially,
I'm
yeah.
expecting
I'm
there's
waiting
a
for your
line
face to start playing.
like that.
That's it.
There's a line like that over the line.
Right, so a small entourage of people start making their way up.
Thank God. Thank Darius.
Did we see this on time?
You can see them. You see them in
Oh,
practice.
so clear. Who's that
Mr.
in?
Raz? Yeah.
He's like trying not to tear his eyes away from Gartok.
I'll point. Is that your boss over there?
Oh no! It's not. That's not Duraz. That's Limo.
And who's that?
Oh, it's one of Duraz's aides.
Good.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take a few steps forward towards him.
No! Hold there! He puts his hand on your chest. Stop there, please. Please.
I'm gonna go and talk to your boss's aide.
He's on his way here. I don't want to be hurt, but I can't let you through.
I'm not gonna hurt you.
Gartok. Take a few steps
Just
back,
wait.
please.
I don't understand why he's stopping me from walking to the docks.
Yeah, I don't understand what right you
Let's
have
find
to
out
stop
in a
us.
Let's have a few
Let
moments.
us stay with the rules which have been set in place. We have been away from town for a long time. Therese has set some
Limo.
rules and has seemingly brought some order to what sounds like a very chaotic space. I respect a person who can control a group, start putting things in place, and I'm sure once we've spoken to Limo and then Faraz, this imaginary border will soon be gone.
Gentlemen, Limo approaches. Limo is wearing a long sleeveless robe for all this, but he's got a hood. It's a creamy brown colour. Brown on the lower parts, cream colour towards the top. He's got a shirt underneath that. And so sorry to keep you waiting. Duraz is terribly, well, he's just tied up with a situation. But I've come to talk to you, and I can take you to somewhere where you can speak to him, and we can get this whole situation sorted out, and hopefully Duraz can explain what exactly is going on here. But the last thing we want is anything that's going to upset the delicate balance that we've got right now.
All right.
Thank you. Where would we be going?
Oh, well, if you just follow me, and if you try to stay with me, of course, I mean, I wouldn't want anyone getting distracted or lost while we're here. We're really trying to keep control of this situation. It is.
What situation?
Well, there is no situation now, and that's only thanks to what Duraz has done.
But Duraz, you said Duraz was dealing with a situation.
He's dealing with another situation.
So what
Is
situation
it
was
something
that?
we can help with?
That's something that he can discuss with you when we get. He's going to get some drinks. You can have a sit down, keep everything calm, and then you can talk to him. But I'm just begging your patience for just a little bit longer while he takes care of business.
With who?
Again, if you could just be patient for just a little bit longer. I'm sure you're very busy people. I have a fair idea who you are by the way you're dressed. There's not many parties that have got generally this makeup, although I'm not so familiar with you, so.
Is this matter that he's dealing with on behalf of the town, or is it a personal matter? Because if it's personal, we can leave it in his hands. But if it's on behalf of the town, it's really important that we speak with him before we continue.
And now I've been sent here to try and talk to you and get you to calmly come to somewhere where he can talk to you. I cannot do his talking for him. I just know that the negotiations in this moment are delicate, and when he speaks to you, he will explain everything.
Is
I'm
it
sure.
with the people from the ships?
I think it might be.
Okay. Well, take us to him now.
I will take you to where he's told me to take you, so you can have some drinks, and then he will come and meet you
No,
there.
please, could you take us to him right now?
With all due respect, madam, I'm in the employ of Duraz, and I'm trying to do my best for the city.
Where is he?
Go on, Karen.
You need to take us to him. If he's talking to the Helvetians, we need to meet him.
I can't tell you that because I don't know. Okay? Now, I've tried to be polite, but you are being extremely rude. Now, could you just come along peacefully to the meeting place so you can have a calm discussion? The last thing this town needs is any more needless violence
Lead on.
or law breaking.
Lead on. We will find. We will
Thank
remain
you.
calm.
Thank you.
Where
It's
is the
nice to
meeting
hear.
place?
You'll see in just a second. I'm just going to take you down there.
You can surely tell us. We know the city.
Well, the city is probably not in the shape that you knew it before.
Let us go.
I'll pick
We are
up.
just delaying.
Is there kind of like because there used to be gates on here, didn't there?
Yes.
Is there something?
There's sweat pouring down the side of his face and a droplet of
Can I
sweat
just
coming out.
insight check to see whether he's trying to delay
He's
us?
shitting himself.
So no roll needed on that bad boy.
Yeah.
This is the aid.
It's like,
This is
This
the
is-
aid.
yeah,
the
this is
customer
Limo.
service person trying to delay the police officers. Though. It's like no.
It's like trying to
no,
hide his stash
I'll
down the
deal-
toilets.
Yeah.
No. It's like the customer service person trying to delay the people who declared themselves the law.
Yeah.
Not the police officers, the vigilantes.
Is there
I
like
believe
a loose bit of
we are well placed vigilantes. We have some justification.
we
Let
killed
us
Mortel,
help you.
didn't we?
We're freedom fighters, not terrorists.
Is there like a loose bit of masonry or
Take it over
like
top.
an iron rung or something which I could see
There's-
which are definitely associated with this particular part of town?
Yes, absolutely.
Just gonna scoop a little bit of it up, deposit in one of my pockets,
Okay.
You're like that.
just in case.
You're like that guy from Saving Private Ryan. with all the
So,
coats.
you know,
Soil.
tins.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we hope it was soil and not just the shit that he took in every country he was in.
Like scowling.
Yeah. So, Limo turns around and he takes you down the street, turning left and heading along the front. You can see there's a number of fishermen there trying to unload from boats, but there's not that many actually at the docks themselves. There's several out there, and there seems to be quite a large gap in the harbour between the boats that are actually at dock and ones you can see much further out. Now, normally you would see traffic in and out of here all the time, but there's a large gap of water here that's vacant of boats.
Does it look like there's an embargo going on of some sort? Stopping ships coming in? Are they blocking access to the port?
I mean, you take a second to pause and look out there, and there's quite a few ships out further, but make a perception check.
Which way is it? Not that one. Not that one. Perception. I've forgotten all my... 15.
You can't tell for certain, but you would say that a distance out there are 5 ships which look like they're at anchor and evenly spaced across the outer part of the harbour.
Okay. I'll just make a mental note of that for now. We're in company.
Is it Limo that's leading this part? Is he the one at the very front of it?
He is, yeah. There's a couple of other people just following loosely around your party.
I'll be literally on Limo's shoulder then.
The people that are loosely following us,
Yeah.
they're armed.
Yes.
Well armed, or
Compared to you guys, no.
compared to these guys?
Compared to those guys, no. Compared to you, yes.
The boats that are unloading, are they fishing boats, or is there other boats that look like they would come from the ships out there?
Make a perception check for that.
Perception. Okay. 5.
All you see is fish.
I see fish.
Pretty little fish.
All right.
Can I'm studying Limo
Mm-hmm.
and the entourage enough for effectively a sealing spell. That's what I'm trying to take at the moment.
Okay.
Just to let you know.
All right. So he takes you to a what looks like a burned building that's in the process of being rebuilt. It suffered significant damage, not recent, but look at it. This is possibly damage that occurred when the town was initially attacked, rather than the more recent harbour fire. The front of it has got a railing put around it, which you can see is relatively new wood, possibly scavenged from other locations. Some of it is distinctly ship-shaped, so some of it's been pulled off boats. So it's formed what looks like a large wooden seating area, and there's some tables and chairs there. The building behind it is what used to be the Weary Sailor. but it is just a burnt out shell.
Is that where he's leading us to?
He's leading you to there. There's a couple of other people sat in this seating area. And he says, right, so we've got some tables and chairs here. Just take a seat. Well, I'll get somebody to bring some water or something, and he will be here as soon as possible.
You could have just told us we were coming to the sailor. We know it's the weary sailor.
I could have done that, but I chose not to.
So you knew.
Shut up, you ignorant ape.
Grab around the throat. I was being calm.
Look, everyone! Look! And people around there start to look at you as you've got in there. Look! Just like he said!
Like Duraz said.
What are you going to do?
We're not going to do anything, Lima.
Above
we
the
are
law,
just going
aren't
to
you?
sit and wait patiently.
It looks like he's doing something to me.
Well,
It certainly feels like it.
You shouldn't have called him an ape.
Should we
He
wash
shouldn't
should
have
we wash out
acted
his
the
dirty
way
mouth?
he did.
Put him in the water.
I want him to say sorry.
Say
For his
sorry,
words.
Lima.
Is he going to say sorry to me for the way he acted? He's
How?
aggression.
I'm sure he will.
Put me down.
You didn't say please.
It's going well.
I'm waiting.
Everybody's looking. Everybody will see what you are.
I'll see how rude you are. You
Put
didn't
me
say
down.
please.
The rudeness was laid before me before I said anything. I was retaliating. Now release me. The villain's here. It's you.
I'm still holding him.
How long can you hold him like this, Vartok?
Let's go find.
We are a tyrants to those who appoint themselves in villainy.
What he said.
Are you going to apologise?
I will when he releases me and apologises himself, as you said he would. At the moment, all I see are criminals. Self-appointed.
Did you work for myself?
Release me. I will answer no more questions of yours. I won't be treated like this.
Put him down.
The
Lima.
people of this
is a
town are not
distraction.
your puppets or toys to be treated as however you wish.
I'll let him go. Do you have something to say to me?
Yes. I'm sorry that I lost my cool in the face of your rudeness.
I'm sorry I had to choke you for it.
Sit down and wait for Duraz, like civilized people. Please. I think you've done enough damage for your reputation.
Our reputation.
Are we in like an outside seating area?
Yeah, there's like a wooden
Beer garden.
Yeah, a beer garden. Beer garden with railings around it, and it's clearly being used as some sort of bar. And the few people sitting there have cleared out the way, with the exception of yourself, who was sitting there with your cards at a nearby table.
I'll just literally sit down exactly where I am, and I'm going to start using Druidcraft to make little seeds grow in the ground.
Okay.
You know what Marcel was doing, yes?
I'm well aware of what MacLeod was doing, and I'm sure the entire city is grateful for what you did. But I don't think it gives you a free pass to act however you wish.
We've come here to ask Duraz to be on the council.
And from what I see, you've shown no patience.
He seems like a completely
No
different
understanding.
person here than he was back there.
No understanding.
You've shown no understanding of the situation. You've demanded to have all the information. You've demanded to be taken direct to him. You've shown no respect for the order we've managed to get here. The only respect that I see that we've managed to get is from this one here.
You've
And
You've
may I
imposed
say,
a blockade.
of all the people, the tiefling is the one who would most likely be distrusted by people. You're supposed to be a paladin. You're acting like a thug.
what have I done?
this situation. Just wait. I'm sure Doraz will sort everything out with you. But I've had nothing but rudeness. You've treated people badly, and you've acted with violence. Now, yes, I used some harsh words, and I regret that considering what happened, but I think...
Insight.
Whereas I'm paying no attention, I'm sat down in front of him, making like little seeds grow.
I'm paying them.
Natural 20.
Oh, well.
24.
He doesn't regret his
Yeah,
words.
he
He doesn't regret his words. He's scared, but he's also angry at the way he's been treated.
Do I
He's
feel
upset.
like he said it on purpose?
Is he like acting this out in?
Yeah.
No, you don't feel like it's an act. You feel like he's upset and scared, but there's some sense of he believes what he's saying.
I'll go and take a seat.
He's been in a pants situation for a long time,
You were
and he's
clapping.
doing
The
what he
person who
thinks is
clapped,
right.
what do we see?
So there is a very a small, frail, nearly grey but with tints of purple skin tiefling in a very dirty white shirt with a cardigan over it, just sat there watching the deck of cards in front of him. Just say, very interesting display, you lot.
He wasn't being very polite.
Oh, absolutely. There's no reason to call you a name.
I'm paying absolutely no attention. I'm just.
He doesn't like people being rude to him.
No one should.
Have you been here long?
Maybe half a day. Couldn't exactly get through. They weren't letting me in. So I just came back here, sat down for a bit to see what had happened. And frankly, I think fate has, but maybe life turns out the way so I can watch quite the display.
Is there order here?
No, obviously not. I'm pretty sure you've seen that firsthand.
I seem to get a semblance of order.
They're trying. Like I said, I've been here not long. I'm not impressed at what I've seen, but again, I'm just one person. Can only see so much.
Your name?
Starfinder.
Rasvin. Pleased to meet you. I'll offer my hand out.
I'll put my hand up. I wish it had. I wish we do.
Just
A big hand. Hello.
are you what are you then?
Oh. Big old Goliath, about 8 foot, about the same size as a guard top, about the same maybe. He's got just kind of normal kind of leather kind of style, but he's got a big tattoo of a bear that goes over his shoulder. Seems like a simple, docile type person, but his face is completely smashed to pieces, like it's been in one too many fights.
So a figure approaches, and Lima goes down to talk to him. You see the chap as you do. He appears to be. He's got human build structure to him, but there's a slight turn to his ear, leading into a partial point. Not like an elf. His skin is of a more greyish hue than you would expect as well. Yet his eyes are bright blue beneath that. And even at this distance, you can pick them out quite cleanly. He's cleanly shaven, and he wears what I would say is workers' clothes. And he puts a hand on Lima's shoulder, pats it, and then turns and trots up to where you are. Gentlemen and lady, have you been offered drinks?
We have, yes.
And have you received the drinks?
I believe I don't believe, I know there was a incident, which I'm sure Lima has told you about, and
I've heard.
the drinks have not arrived as yet, but I'm sure that he's just on his way.
Well, he looks over to Limo. Limo nods and moves on. First of all, I knew that this time would come. I'm Not so sure who. What is your name, sir?
My name's Bear.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Bear. You're a representative of this group, are you?
Yes. Yes, I am.
My name is Doraz Yen, and he extends a hand towards you.
I grab the hand. Still not getting quite the hang of this handshaking.
Quite a large set of hands. I hear you're some sort of representative for the city.
We all are.
You all are. So, it doesn't pay so much attention for you for the moment. A harbinger of the people.
That's right.
Dramos, I assume. It must be Gartok.
Stop paying no attention to him.
And Rasvin.
Pleased to meet you. Do you round?
Well, first of all, let me say that as I'm sure everyone will be, and you'd forgive their ignorance, for the average person doesn't see what causes their liberty. So let me speak on behalf of the ignorant to say that we are grateful for what you have done for the city, and how you've taken away the tyrant that controlled so many lives and released us. I mean, unfortunately, you released the city into an absolute mess, but hopefully working together we can all get things back on track.
Well, it
That's
was a
why we-
mess in the first place, wasn't it? We haven't released it into a mess. It became a mess under the leadership of Morthel and his crew.
It did become a mess, although, I mean, I hate to say it, he did keep order.
He kept order
He
through.
kept a form of order.
The man was a villain. We'll get no arguments from me on that, and I'm glad that you killed him. I'm just sorry I didn't get to see it myself.
So you were here all the way through his reign,
I was.
or did you always work at the docks?
I didn't work at the docks. I was, at the time of the dragon attack, I was in the harbour on a boat. I saw the worst of the dragon.
Were you on one of them boats? Point to the big ones that are out at sea.
The boat that I was on is beneath the water now. Got badly damaged, and I had to jump clear with just the clothes on my back.
I'm sorry to hear that, Doraz.
Well, it's brought me to this situation, and I was coming to this land for a different life, and it's not exactly the cards I was looking for, but these are the ones that I have.
So, tell us, how did you manage to restore order in the docks?
Well, I'm not proud of it, and I don't think it's what the city needs. But I compelled some people to do a limited amount of violence, just to set an example and scare people into behaving civilly.
How did you compel them to do that?
Made them see it was the only way. People were stealing from each other, ripping away food, hoarding it. There were people who were prepared to hang the likes of you and Gartok here on sight, without knowing who or what you are. Chaos, we can't have that. We may as well just rip down the walls and have it as the wilderness, let the monsters in. The worst thing is it's supposed to be the people, we live with, side by side, that were doing this. Well, I can't have it. That's not the new world I set out for. So as I said, I compelled some people to set an example. And when I did that, I got people in order. I stopped just anybody coming into the docks. I stabilised the food supplies coming in. I made sure that those who were capable of work got a boat and were able to go out. And then that fish came back and went to the people.
Sounds very nice of you.
Well, hopefully it's not a long-term position. I really would like people to be having their own boats, getting there, fishing and earning money from it. I mean, it wouldn't hurt if, when things are back to normal, there was some gratitude that came my way. But this is not an employment, money-making situation. This is a survival situation, not just for me, but for everybody. there are just people out in the city who are looking for their own ends, and you've got to watch out for them. You've got to watch out for them.
Does he smell the shit?
What do you think?
That's -1. That's a 12 from me.
You find yourself quite moved by what you're saying.
It sounds really nice of you. I think this man should be a counsellor for the town. He seems like a right nice person.
I'm going to take you at your word. I've met other people who would say those exact words to me and not mean a one of them. But I feel that you're possibly one of the most sincere people I've ever met.
Thank you very much.
From the ground, are you taking money off people to enter your part of the city?
No. No. It isn't my part of the city. And what good is money right now? It means nothing.
So why are you stopping people from entering?
Did I not just explain?
He's trying to protect everybody.
I'm trying to protect the food supply and make sure it's not stolen and hoarded by people who would
Are you
abuse it.
hoarding all the food?
If I'm honest, to a degree it might seem like I am, but only to stop people stealing it. And I'm not keeping it, I'm having it distributed evenly and fairly to the city.
Well, we thank you for the service thus far. I want to ask whether you would be willing to step onto a temporary council in order to extend this kind of order throughout the city and make things work together, because things are disjointed and the Western Docks is suffering from the fact that you put this cordon on the Southern Docks as well.
I can understand that. If I'm honest, I think the solution would be to put similar restrictions on the Western Docks. I mean, before this happened, did we really keep track of who came in and out of the town? If anything, this whole invasion was probably caused by the fact that we just let anyone in and out. The Western Docks is probably completely lawless right now. Look around you. We're sat out here in the open. You've got no danger here for the moment, and I am grateful for the offer, but could you promise me this would be a temporary council? If I'm to take a position like this, I would like to be nominated and chosen for it by the people, rather than just placed in it by people of power, and I mean that with the greatest respect.
I intend there to be elections.
We often intend things and then bureaucracy stops it happening.
There
Do
will
I
be
look like the
elections.
kind of person who gets hung up on bureaucracy?
If I were bothered with the paperwork, then it would still be chaos. It would take weeks to sort this out if I did it by the book. I've put rules in order, and it's not perfect, but it's working for now. People are getting fed.
Well, we need more.
You'll have it.
What if he became the master of the docks? Like a dock master?
We had a similar idea in mind.
What do you know about a few of the others who have risen recently? So you have, and I do not mean that derogatory, so I apologise about how blunt this will be, but there are others who have found themselves in a similar position to what you have, found a place in town and organised it in a manner like you have with the docks. There are others who have organised defences to look out in the northern part of town. There are others, I am sure, who are organising what they see as their way in other parts of the town.
No, I understand what you mean. I mean, I feel that all my life I've had to swim hard to stay on the surface. Scum always floats to the top easily, though, doesn't it? And I think there's a few of those out there. Sure, there'll be people trying to take advantage.
We heard that you were speaking with the people from the ships as well. Do you know who they are?
Yes. Now, again, my apologies. That's part of the reason I was delayed. It's a group of Helvetians who are diplomatically laying claim to the protection of the town. I've met Helvetians before, and they don't seem the same. As I've expressed, I've got concerns about letting just anyone in. For all I know, this could be a bunch of, I don't know, it could be someone attached to Morfel's forces who just gathered a load of gear and are pretending. But I'd like some sort of confirmation before I let such a heavily armed force into the city. I mean, the leader, he refused to give me his name, but he was generally cordial and polite, but seemed very forceful in his talk. And I'm no warrior.
We have the skills to determine things like that, so it would have been wise to inform other people. I know that your allies, friends here, have noted that we proficient in the martial skill, and that is what we are known for. We deal with threats, but we have an array of skills.
Oh, yes, I'm sure. And as I've expressed, with what I needed to do to get order, sometimes violence is necessary, but sometimes words and calm are necessary. Something I try to put forward in my people.
And you're doing a very good job from the little time that we've been here. You all, those who you are inspiring are very loyal.
You're probably right, Harbinger. Maybe you'd have been able to deal with these Helvetians better than I. I did manage to smooth the pastry, as it were.
When I say deal with, I don't mean negotiate. I mean the ability to determine whether they are actually who they say they are, and where they've come from.
Indeed, but there is a set of rules that we put in place here to protect the people. And my people were just following those rules, and I was in a very tense situation. I apologise that I could not call you straightforward, but I was not in possession of all the information. And even now I'm working things out as we go along.
Are they still here?
They've gone back over to the ship for now. Although they say they have a limited room on there, so we'll need to put to shore soon. Debating what to do about it. Can I just say something? I appreciate you have lots of questions and things you need to put across, and I do appreciate this offer to be on the council, but there is no good in trying to establish order and having rules if the people who are at the top of the ladder think they are above them. Your council will need to respect that.
The only way you can get a law passed in the city is through the council. The laws you make are not laws, they are rules.
Indeed, they are rules.
But they are rules, not ours.
They're not
We
laws.
not be fooled by them.
You're right. It is a temporary situation. However, as I say, it's up to the people at the top of the ladder to set an example of how to behave.
Where are your food stores?
We've managed to use some of the warehouses. As you can see, we're trying to rebuild where we can. A lot was burnt by the dragon.
I'll stand up. Is someone going to take me there, or should I find it myself?
Is this how it's going to be?
I want to see what food you have.
Ask. Just ask nicely. Just ask nicely. That's all you need to do. We're being
did
perfectly
ask.
civil here.
We did ask nicely. Not with
Harbinger,
your...
one moment. I've spoken to my person who has told me about Gartok's behaviour, and he said what he has said. But you've just made a demand. You did not ask. Now, I have no interest in being in a council if this is how it will be.
I am asking to see your food stores.
I will happily take you to see the food stores.
Great, let's go.
Not like this.
What do you mean, not like this?
I'm going to step away for just a moment. Forgive me. I suggest you talk amongst yourselves and sort this situation out, because you will get no progress with this. I will step away, take 5 minutes to think about the situation. Excuse me.
If I was to go and come back, could I come back here and talk to you? Or would I have to wait by the door?
I would ask that you'd nicely wait here for now. We are trying to maintain the rules that I have set up.
Well, you know I don't steal fish. So if I went into the town and I came back, could I just walk through and come and
I'd
see
hope at the conclusion of these negotiations that could all be sorted out. But I will see your next actions as whether you are a party of, well, rules or chaos. Excuse me for 5 minutes, talk amongst yourselves, sort out your situation. You will not get this town in order this way. Excuse me. He stands up and walks away.
As he walks away and turns his back,
Yes.
can I release Hootie
Yeah.
from her space up onto her nearby rooftop? I'm going to get her to effectively fly away a little bit, come back up, and I want to be up over the area we are at. And I'll drop into her eyes to see. I want to see a broader thing of what's going on around us. So are there people manoeuvring? Does there look like there's an area being protected?
Mm-hmm.
So are there kind of positioning of people up to protect areas or hide areas or move areas? That
All
sort
right.
of
So
thing.
you set her up to take a couple of moments while she.
Yeah,
goes
I'm
up.
fine with the rest of them.
Give me a
So
perception check for now, though.
I will.
I'll turn to Jamos. All I want is to show me the food they've got, and I can take a little bit to all those hungry people we passed on the way here.
If you wouldn't have done that, I would have.
He understands what you want to do.
Yeah.
I'm
still do
being
this.
calm.
You just see me almost go just blank,
Way
which you probably
it is
put anyway.
always the way how people see or hear what you
One,
say.
you can get the arc and follow on foot.
I know that you are being calm and you are asking this politely,
So if you want
as
to
you
follow on
would
foot.
whenever you do go into.
I know and he knows if I wanted, I could
my insight is
charge for and take it.
How much do I believe?
I don't want to, I want him to give it to me.
I rolled I got a 12.
And he will, but he is one for manners.
Yeah, you think he's a good guy. You think he's a good guy.
Will you
But-
explain to him what I
There's
want?
something niggling in the
I'll,
back.
Yeah.
I'll do my best.
You're on the line.
Yeah.
You have done nothing wrong. You
Bit like
have
us.
reacted to what you have
Is
seen
that a bit
and
like us?
Yeah.
the way that people have reacted to you.
14 perception.
I only grabbed that
Assuming
man
it's sight
when he said
based,
horrible
which
things.
is
He
advantage
did.
for sight based.
Could have killed him.
Quite easily, as you could have Gondo or any of the others that are working in the docks. I would imagine.
You're still playing with your cards.
What's the guy do? Where did he go?
Saturday.
Where did he go? He's walked.
We
He's walked
faced
about
so
40
many
feet away,
things.
and he's
I just
talking
want
to
to
a
help
couple of
people now.
And he
As
does
that's
know
happened
it.
then,
Make him understand.
kind of run on your
Do my
coattails
best.
here a bit, but my own eyes will go grey and I'll have my familiar high priestess to go along and follow. Say, grey-haired cat.
Okay.
Much
Does it-
more
does it look
attractive
Fucking
Does he-
gremlin.
than
Because Bear spent a lot of time in fights, does it feel like he's starting to get surrounded or something? Is there like a build-up of people around the area?
There's a build-up of people. You don't.
It's an action I want
Yeah.
You don't feel like
Oh, I
they're
know, I was
preparing for a
just gonna
fight.
Got
Okay.
like an extra sting on it. It's brilliant.
Okay, so what Hootie sees as Hootie flies over, you can see, pretty much as you said, there's a number of buildings that have been damaged and burned. You can see there are new frameworks in place where things have been cleaned out of the way. You can see that there are about 4 or 5 buildings which look like they have guards around them. There are a number of people in the nearby streets that are out of where your current line of sight is. You know,
They armoured, they got weapons.
they're armoured, they've got weapons, and they're all just stood
Are they in sort of clumps of people? Are they like 3 or 4 per clump, and they're kind of
it's
spaced out
small
around
clumps of
us?
people spaced out into various side streets and whatnot, but clearly out of sight of where you are right now.
I figured. Okay.
Your grey cat, where are you sending that?
I'm sending that a little closer, so while he's got the air on the ground, I'll put it like 10 feet away. I'll have him just sort of lie down somewhere 10 feet away and see if he can pick anything up.
Okay. Well, give me a stealth check for the cat.
Smell out them little fishies.
I'm gonna kind of want to succeed, so I'm gonna replace that. Was a 2, I'm using important to bring up to an 11, so a total of 15.
15. All right. Okie dokie.
Early use, I like.
So are you going into your cat? What's your cat called?
The High Priestess.
The High Priestess.
And for those of you that would have seen her leave, she is wearing on her collar the card, the High Priestess.
Okay.
So let's your portents work differently. You've got to declare them before.
Oh, do I?
Just to let you know, you didn't know, but
it's fine.
You've got to use them in place. You've got to do it before you know any roll at all. Because you're kind of affecting the what's happening by your foresight rather than knowing what's happened.
That's fair.
Okay.
Huh?
So.
Yeah, he's always quick to get in before I roll the dice.
Yeah.
All one of your players.
That's
Oh, that's cool, though.
I'm more than happy to take that back and.
No.
You run away.
Okay,
I'm just
you're
telling
cool.
you for
Yeah,
for a
I wouldn't have known
yeah.
if I was playing the character fresh. So no, totally fine. Okay, so High Priestess slinkily moves out, slipping between the railings. She gets closer to where the group is. One of them saying, "So what's going on?" It's on a knife edge at the moment, says Duraz. I feel they could turn at any moment, and if they do, there is precious little we can do about it. I have the only hope that they will see some sense of reason and not fall into behaving like thugs. But did you see the way the big one treated Limo? Yeah, yes, I've heard what he did, but Limo was not as diplomatic as he should be, and Limo will be moved to a different role for now. However, Limo quite passionately said, and I do believe him, that they were threatening in the first place. So I think it is important to impress on them that they cannot do however they wish. They have the power to do so, and I am just praying when I go back over there that... Well, I'm praying when I go back over there that everything will be okay. He said, well, what about all the guys? Well, we could send all the guys out, but they defeated Morfell. What good are our fishermen against that? That sat over there is the biggest threat this town has ever seen. We must keep them sweet, but also controlled and calm. Well, what do you want me to tell the boys? Tell the boys to do nothing. You should not have prepared them anyway. But if they make a move on me, there will be witnesses. Okay? I do not believe they will just murder me, despite what we may have heard. I think they've had their time, and hopefully they will have cooled down. I'll go back.
That's all I need.
Yeah.
High Priestess will come back and have my division.
So he turns, doesn't look right down to where High Priestess is. She moves behind a barrel. Okay. So Duraz moves back over. Forgive me, I do apologise, Gartok. I was losing my cool for a second there, and I find when I do so, sometimes it's necessary to take a step away and think for a moment before I say something regrettable. And I would not want to do that to someone the city holds in such esteem as yourself.
There is nothing to apologise for, Taraz. This is a tense situation, even though you have brought order to where you are. The town is still reeling, there is still chaos outside of the walls, as you are aware, and I'm sure when your men bring back the carts which you send out with the fish to feed the town, they are telling you and informing you what is happening out there.
Yes.
Gartok is not the best with his words. He is very forthright. He uses his strength and size in ways that he doesn't really understand.
He's not been treated well.
There are a lot of people in town who have not been treated well.
I'm just saying that
It is.
he put his life, in fact his life was taken in the fight against Warfare. But he did that for loyalty to this town and these people.
And
And yes, he can be brisk, but it's actions that speak louder than words.
no one respects Gartok's sacrifice more than I.
I'm not sure that's true.
However, Gartok's sacrifice sees him standing here in front of me. That is not a true sacrifice. I would say the sacrifice would be all the dead that we don't see walking around the town now. And there are many of those.
I'm sure there would be more if people hadn't done their part.
There most certainly would be. I'm sorry if my man upset you, Gartok. I would hate to feel that a man so big and powerful as yourself was felled by just a few ill thought out words. I apologise on his behalf, perhaps more sincerely, I hope you'll find, than he did.
People can punch me, stab me, burn me, kill me. I can get over that, I can heal. People use words I don't understand, knowing that it hurts because I don't understand.
I think you
They know they're hurting me.
I think you understood the word that was used against you. I, again, would underline, people can stab you and punch you and burn you, and you get up. The violence that you can do, some people can't get up from. The people out there, they're just people. They can't do the things that you can do.
What do you want, Duras?
I want you to get your council together. I would like it to be fairly elected by the people, and I would like there to be law. I would like to not have to do this. I'm going to be completely straight with you now. I sat here, and I'm afraid. I'm afraid of you. You scare me. And I don't think that's right.
You would like us to be weaker.
I would like you to be more careful with your power, perhaps.
And when the next dragon attacks,
Or the same dragon.
would you want us to be strong, or would you want us to be weak and hide behind?
I would like you to
borders?
use your power on the dragon. I would not like to use your power on the fisherman, the man who stands on the gate, the man who one of your punches could break his neck. The power of your god could destroy in a heartbeat. These are people with families, or people that used to have families. Use your power against the enemy. Use your power against the evil, by all means, but not upon the people of the town.
But there are people on the other side of your so-called border that are suffering just as much.
And at this very moment, carts are being loaded up with food that's going to be taken out to the marketplace and distributed to them.
And that's what I want to see.
And I will show you. But
Can we go and see them, please?
I believe that I, along with any of these people, deserve the civility that I would expect to come from someone who is so rightly branded a hero as you are.
Hero is a strong word to us. We are not heroes.
You don't get to choose that, do you? The other people put that label on you.
We don't. We get labelled, and you're right. People do fear us because we can do things which most can't.
Will you join the council?
We are setting up a council which will put what you want in place, and none of us, apart from Bear, will be on this council.
None of you will be on the council.
If you wish to know who we have put forward so far, well, I can happily tell you.
Please.
There is Lawmaster Morrow.
Okay.
There is Sten.
Mm-hmm.
There's Andro.
I don't know Andrew.
He was the head clerk at the town, at the halls.
Well, much as I may not approve of it, bureaucracy is necessary.
There is a man called Goraz. I'm just double checking that name, sorry.
Yes.
It is
Goraz.
correct.
Yeah, there is Goraz, who is someone who... one of the people that I'm asked about before, those who have risen.
Goraz Hook.
I do not know his surname, but he is a
I
fellow
cannot.
tiefling.
I'm afraid I cannot serve on a council that has Goraz on it.
He looked to be doing the exact same thing as you when we arrived, and we were forced to offer him a position as well.
Much like this chap here, my cards are on the table. I think you would not even know if Goraz had cards.
Do you not like Goraz?
It's nothing to do with his race.
I was going to say, normally when someone
bringing
says
it
it's
up?
nothing to do with
That
your race.
is
What is his race?
You already said a few moments ago to one of my colleagues about tieflings such as Dramos here often are just equated with demons, and Goraz has that look to him, and he has a fine tongue on him. I've known people like Goraz my entire life, and the thing that upsets me the most about him is that he does nothing wrong that I can see. And
So you will allow him to take the position of counsellor, and you won't combat that. You won't stand alongside him and offer your own part.
make a persuasion check.
Oh my god!
What, you're using
Don't
persuasion?
fail it now, because I've never rolled it before. That's
That's
23. I rolled a 13.
You're right, of course, I am being foolish. If you're going to put him on the council regardless,
We've already offered him a position.
This is a
He had
temporary
taken,
council.
yes, he had taken control, much like you had. How do we know that you and him, you could be the one with your cards here, and he could be the one with them laid out?
I absolutely could be. I can only tell you that I am exactly what you see.
Can I insight that?
What do I see?
That's a natural 20.
Okay. There is earnestness in what he's saying,
Yeah.
but there's also something else. From your experience, when you've talked to people who are, everything they're saying is true, but it's what they're not saying that's the issue.
There's one other.
Who else?
Geoffrey Howe.
Geoffrey's a good man. I've met him.
He is
Respected the gate.
teaching one of our clerics to be the leader of the militia.
Okay.
He did not want to stay in the position for as long as was necessary.
Militia's what this town needs. I'll take the position on the council, on the agreement that it is a temporary council.
And it will be.
And I am reluctant, but if for no other reason than to have a vote that counters Goraz's.
You really have some history with Goraz?
What can I say? I think he is like me, but different at the same time.
You said this guy had what? Greyish skin?
He does.
And a slight
point to the ear.
Any sort of sense about his heritage, where he might be from, or was this just have we seen someone like him before at all?
Ooh, give me a. What do I have on this one?
I'll roll a dice and you tell me what you want to.
I thought it was just
Yeah, give me perception.
It's an 8 with a plus to 10.
10.
Perception.
No, his whole bearing appears to be. If he didn't have the greyish skin and the ears, you'd think he was human by his build and facial structure and everything else. You don't think you've met anyone else with those combination of features. Now, I don't need to be rude because I've established that there is no need for rudeness. I do have a lot to do. I need to make sure this food gets supplied. Let's take you down to the warehouse so you can see exactly what we've got.
I would also ask if there's any further negotiations with the Helvetians. It should be done with one of the council members, one of the other council members, preferably Geoffrey.
Now that I am properly informed, I will send someone to the council to have someone brought down. I would ask that the council also respect my request for no violence within the southern docks. Anybody who does commit violence, I have ejected from here. I won't take it amongst any of the fishermen, any of my workers. I'll have no drunken brawls. And until laws are in place, should we say no rule breakers?
Will you allow the council to come to the docks unimpeded?
That means Goraz.
That is, everybody needs to be allowed. You're a councillor now.
You're still thinking of the southern docks as if it is separate from the city. I mean, as of the point you take on this position, you need to be thinking of the city as a whole.
I think that is a conversation for the first council meeting to sort out. So, should we let the councillors decide that?
You are correct, the council should decide that, but the council aren't blocking any movement.
Again, it's a conversation we should have at the first council meeting before I go relaxing any rules.
It is a fair point.
I would counter you should be having a first council meeting to establish the rules. Not that they should be trying to have a council meeting about reverting rules that you put in place.
Anyway, council meeting 1. Fireball. Council Mark 2.
The council are dead.
And then it's a new council.
Yeah.
A tragic accident.
Yes, let's try the second
Let's
one.
hope
Well,
that the
most
first
of them
council
will be
meeting will be swift so we can get all these things ironed out.
Indeed.
I certainly relish the day that we can relax the rules, have proper law and order, a decent militia. In fact, I'm going to pick out 10 men and have them sent along to Geoffrey to train for the militia.
That is a very kind gesture.
But what if, when the council meets with you as part of it, they say no to your rules?
Well, it'll be a council of people with votes. I will respect it. It's a council. I will just have to hope that my words can sway them to putting sensible rules in place.
So you're not just going to go back to your old ways if they say no?
You make my always sound sordid.
I'm not sure there is innocence.
We know nothing of you, so we're taking you at your word for now. But many people have given their word in the past, Morthale included, and they were found to be false.
Well, what can I give you?
Your word is fine for now.
Well, I hope that my word will bear out in the future, and you will see in the long run that civil conversations are worthy of me.
What this town needs is civil conversations. But we keep you from obviously your busy day. Shall we proceed?
Yes, let's get down to one of the warehouses.
I don't know how these people are. When there was a confrontation before between Gartok and him, things started to get a little bit heated. Was there any slip in this guy's kind of visage?
Not Goraz.
Goraz.
Yeah,
no, he's not Goraz. Duraz.
You've
Duraz.
made them all.
Yeah,
Goraz.
Yeah, I know.
What I'm trying to think is,
Doesn't
they
does-
said that there was people that can assume the view of other people. I'm saying, was there any slip in his visage?
There wasn't a slip in his visage, and in my defence, I made the two characters weeks apart.
No. It was just
No. I mean, he seemed exactly what you see.
I thought any sort of stress might have caused a slight slip.
I know not to just go around touching people now, so I
It's good advice. That's not D&D advice. That's real life advice.
You know I don't do it in real life. Only D&D.
Pull on the beard.
Yeah.
All right. So, shall we? And he gets up and goes out into the street.
I'm going to put my arm on Gartok. I'm following you, Gartok. I cannot see for a while. Walk slowly. I'm going to hoot his eyes again as we're walking along and just put my hand on Gartok to feel the way.
Would you like to cut?
So you can see the street ahead of you. All right, so he takes you a short distance away. Hootie's visage, you look up. You can see that their area are people following, like a block away on the side.
And the other ones that are, what I'm trying to work out is he taking us to like one warehouse that's separate from the others that are guarded?
He's taking you to one in that cluster of warehouses.
But it is a cluster. It's not like this one over here we prepared earlier and there's a load of...
Yeah, that's when we were outside.
Yeah, that's why.
Quick
move on!
Hide all the booze.
Yeah.
Here we are. And he takes you to the warehouse. The back of it looks like older wood, but the front of it looks like it's new wood on the front of it. And he goes and pushes open the door, and you can see in here, it's not full, but there are barrels and barrels of fish, and the smell is overwhelming at the start as the door comes in.
Nostalgia.
This reminds me of a temple we once stayed in.
There are two carts in here, and there are a group of guys loading up barrels onto these carts. There's horses on each of the carts.
So how many barrels are to go out today?
Hopefully this entire warehouse.
The entire warehouse will go today.
Mm-hmm.
What time of day are we on, by the way?
Oh, you are...
Mid-morning still?
yeah, you're mid-morning, really. You spent... Yeah, you spent... Oh, no.
No, we came to the town in the morning.
You came to- yes,
after
you-
the lorry
absolutely.
resurrection.
You
So,
did.
yeah.
It's the afternoon, then.
It's 9. I've actually got time written down, just to me. 1 second. Keith Dover's
A
cool.
lot of fish.
Well,
Did you catch all this today?
no. It takes a whole bunch of admin to get it processed, get off the boats. Normally, when the harbour's running full pelt, it could bring in so much more than this.
Did we even see any carts on the way down here? Did we see any carts leaving this area at all?
Can I cast Detect Thoughts, please?
Okay.
I'm going to jump around some of the workers and just pick up the general... so the first bit, I'm not going deeper first, surface thoughts, so what's most common in their mind at the moment. if not ones that are picking up grains of stuff, because that
Sure.
I probably thought that. It's more the ones sort of standing at the side, maybe, or looking on, or some of his entourage. Not Duran just yet.
So who do you want first? One of the workers or one of the people who's with Duraz?
Let's go with one of the people with Duran first.
Okay. So one of the guys is there. His initial thoughts are, you can hear his breathing as he's don't do it. And like as Gartok said, these are all allowed to go out today. And no, calm down. Then Duraz says, yes, hopefully this whole warehouse will be loaded. So he's afraid that there's going to be
a big confrontation.
Yeah.
And then one of the again, almost one of the ones not actively lifting, because their first thought is going to be, I'm lifting a bag of grain, but
okay, yeah.
one's at the side.
One at the side then. He's looking up and he's thinking, I reckon that's Dramos. Oh, God. I should say something. No, can't. I said, keep your head down. Keep your head down. Clean out the fish. Clean out the fish. Don't look. He'll know you're looking.
Are these some of your workers from before, probably? Right?
So they're loading up. Is it 2 carts you're saying getting loaded?
2 carts.
Are there other carts around?
No other carts around.
The Raz,
Yes.
you got any more carts?
We could do with more carts. We'll send these carts up 2 or 3 times. But if the rest of the city, if you find more, send them to us. We can get more out at once then.
Do you give away these fish for free?
Yeah.
It's very nice of you.
Well, there'll come a time when it turns to commerce, obviously, but people can't pay for the fish if they don't have money. And I think I've motivated people to help, but I think...
Duran, then.
Okay.
Is he turning into a racketeer?
Please carry on the conversation.
Yeah.
Go back to me.
I have motivated people to help, but I think their goodwill will only last so long before they'll start thinking about, how do I pay for myself? There's more in life than food, after all.
Commerce just means that people want gold, silver, coppers for what they do for their work.
I think they'll want gold. They'll be thinking about their homes. They'll be thinking about other things. Nothing.
Completely blank.
Completely blank.
How big are these barrels?
They are big. Like you'd imagine like a full-size barrel to be.
Let's pick one up.
Yeah. You go over, move away from the group. As he watches you, and one of the guys loading moves away from you as you come over.
I'm essentially going to try and, like, if I can, I don't think it's wide enough line. Essentially try and get it onto my shoulder.
Okay, there's no top on the barrel, so it's...
Oh, okay. That would be an issue.
Not the fish, Carter!
Just a stream.
Not the fish!
But I'll go and pick one up.
Okay, you go and pick up a barrel. The worker steps away from you.
So, if all of this is going today, I can just take this now and give it to people.
God, let me ask you a question. You give me a word that you will distribute this to people and not keep it for yourself.
I'm going to go back to your border, and the first people I see on the other side of it will get this fish.
I'm merely asking for a simple promise, an oath, whatever works best for you.
I've just said what I'm going to do.
Yes.
That is my word.
As we went with our conversation earlier, people say things all the time.
They do.
And they're just words. And your word does mean a lot. What is the harm of saying I promise?
Well,
I give my word.
I don't
swear on a god.
I don't trust you for a start. You have to earn that trust from me. And it should be enough that if I say I'm going to do something, it gets done.
You don't trust me, you just said so. And yet you demand the same trust from me on your word?
Yes.
Duraz, you have my word that he will just distribute it to the people that he sees on the, at the gate.
It's the very first people I see.
I will accept your word, Dramos. Thank you.
It's a lot of fish for one person.
Well, there's many hungry people.
I think he's going to give it.
Please, Gartok, feel free to take the fish.
That makes more sense.
Regardless of any structure we have in place, please feel free, as a gesture of goodwill, to take these fish and distribute them to the people as you see free. Dramos has given his word that your words mean something,
Perhaps,
and I will accept that.
Perhaps these people with these carts want to follow me. I'm sure we can find lots of hungry people.
We're doing it my way, Gartok.
They have a process going on.
But people are hungry.
And the people are going to get their fish.
There does need to be some order in his distribution.
We are going round in circles. I cannot countenance such willful disregard for any rules.
I'm still holding this barrel. I'm gonna go and take this barrel up the street. I'm back in a little while for another one.
Why don't you send one
I'm
of
just
your
going to start
men
wandering out of his warehouse with this big
with
barrel.
him, Duraz, just to... I know I have given my word, but it will just put a bit more weight behind.
You're giving your word, and I have a gesture of goodwill, but Gartok has wandered out now before you say anything else. If he continues to act in such a willful, disrespectful manner, I will have no choice but to deploy my men to attempt to stop him re-entering.
I understand.
There has been no council meeting yet, so my rules stand. And the people here respect that. Gartok is supposed to represent the upper level of this town. You people saved this town, but you don't act like it. All they're seeing is a thug who thinks he can do what he wants.
Well, that is not the actual case.
And when they see it, those are the words they will use on him, and he will commit violence. If he acts like a thug, he will be called a thug. If he acts like a brute, he'll be called a brute. And that's something he's going to have his entire life, unless his friends can maybe educate him.
You should have seen him when we met him.
Sooner or later, he will meet someone that will hit harder than he can. And he won't get up. And that would be a terrible shame. Please, talk to him. Teach him some restraint. I cannot allow him to continue to walk in here and disregard the rules. If he does that, all he does is set an example that anyone can do it. And then there will be anarchy.
You make a fair point. I'm going to casually walk around, as in just sort of not pressing anything open, casually walking around. I'm going to use the other part of this spell, which is to try and detect thoughts of people I cannot see.
Ooh, okay.
So within 30 foot of me, I can sort of cast around and see if there are thoughts in the area.
Okay.
To see if there's any sort of hidden or obscure.
So you just get like a wave of other thoughts.
What
Is
does
that
it
how it
say?
works?
You can also use a spell to detect the presence of thinking creatures you can't see. When you cast a spell after the duration, you can search for thoughts within 30 feet of you. It can penetrate barriers, but 2 feet of rock, 2 inches of any metal, or a thin sheet of lead prevents it. So I'm basically sort of walking around, almost casting in to see if there's anything in the crates. Are there people hidden behind the crates? Are there people hidden from us in the area?
So I think what you get is there are people that you can't see, but the thoughts that you get are all either they're worried about the situation, or they're completely ignorant of the situation. Perhaps somebody that is behind a warehouse and knows nothing that's going on.
Okay.
But nothing that sets off any alarms with you.
Okay. It's only lasts for a minute, so I'll probably be doing that for the next sort of 30 seconds and then the spell ends. So.
Perhaps as a further gesture, would you care to take a barrel up into the city as well and distribute it?
That's very kind of you.
Distribute it, though.
I would. That means take and give.
Yes.
I would ask
See?
your
I'm
word.
not- I'm a counsellor. I give my word.
Thank you. I look forward to having you on the council. You seem to be very nice and level-headed.
Oh, yeah.
Just stab him in the fucking face. I know that's what's going through your head. I'm going to suffer tomorrow for this. She's going to come in the office and that guy, I hated him so much.
Complete opposite ends of the spectrum there.
I'm gonna go and try and
I'm playing politics.
follow. I hate it. I hate it. I'm gonna go out and try and find.
He has no idea what
Gartok.
politics is. It's just what he sees. I'll just pick a barrel up.
Told you we need
Would
to.
you like a fish?
Please, the people outside of the wall, in the main part of town, just find anybody who needs it.
Just a couple of fish per person.
Okay.
Not all
Not the
to
whole
one
barrel to
person.
one.
Okay. It's good that you clarify that.
In fact, could you do me a huge favour? Could you give the barrel to Gartok to distribute on his way back?
He already has a
That
barrel.
will diffuse the situation for them.
He already has a barrel though.
Let's come with me there. Let's go for a
Let's
walk.
get you back to more important business.
Indeed.
If the captain from the trireme comes again, I will send a message right up. And if you can send a message as soon as the first council meeting is organised,
We shall send someone.
It will be soon.
the sooner the better, in my view.
Needs to be a coup.
Has there been any other troubles that we should be aware of in the...
Sailors being sailors. There's talk of mermaids. There's talk of krakens. There's no kraken in the harbour. It's too shallow. Otherwise, the big boats would be in here. The main danger the harbour has is there's a plethora of wrecked ships just below the surface of the water, which makes it hazardous to get boats in here.
Is that being cleared?
We're at work on it. That's another obstacle to get out the way, and then the food supply.
Maybe we could help.
Well, again, we'll discuss it with the council, and when things are all opened up, then we can move forward.
Getting the impression that he wants nobody in this side of the town.
I'll be glad. I'll be glad when we hear it. I know you're all good people and will respect the decisions of the council.
We will. When he's distracted, I'm casting another spell.
I'm gonna set fire to you.
I'll burn you all down tomorrow.
Oh my god!
I'm casting Trucia.
Okay.
Can you see being a dickhead?
Does he have a massive cock on his head?
It doesn't quite do that. So I can see. You can see things as they actually are.
Okay.
That's the phrasing of it. For the duration, the creature has true sight, notices secret doors hidden by magic, can see into the ethereal plane, all out to a range of 120 feet. It's a sixth, so it's a big, it's a big boy.
True seeing is amazing.
He's exactly what he looks like.
Okay.
He's exactly what he looks like. But Harbinger is a seething mass of fire on every plane.
It
No,
lasts
he-
for
he-
an hour.
Yeah. Okay. So as you're walking through, you'll get that. But yeah, your vision stays of him being grey-skinned human.
Has he got an invisible ring on his finger?
Make a perception check.
House. Is that an 8?
Yes.
Isn't it? Yeah. 10.
Oh no, it's got a dot, so it's a 6.
6. 8.
Oh dear.
8. Going lower. 8.
Not on his right hand, but his left hand is in his belt with two fingers tucked inside. And,
Okay.
Yeah. So he might have, but
Just think one like mine in terms of.
Of
the,
course you are,
the
yes.
mind shielding is what I'm thinking of. So
I don't think I've ever not attuned to mine.
I've never not attuned to mine. It's always that's the last thing that goes. I'm going to be casting around looking at his crew and his crap, but
it appears to be a bunch of fishermen and dock hands working at loading up these wagons. So are we done for the day, or
I've left.
okay?
I'm out with fire.
Yeah.
You've taken
Come
me.
on.
How do we get a message to you? Is it from?
Oh, just send someone down to the gate.
Okay.
Touch base on the gate, and they'll get it to me. straight away.
It's good to know. We appreciate you bringing some law and order here as well.
Oh well, it's nice to hear. It's appreciated because, after all, I don't have to do this.
No, the same as we didn't have to do the actions we did. We appreciate some others taking on the burden.
Well, it's nice that you said it. I mean, I know I acknowledge your actions, so it's nice that you acknowledge mine. I'm going to take a pause and make a drink.
No problem.
But I will listen to the recording back if you say anything bad about me.
I always
Burn
do. Always
Burn
do.
them all.
God.
I will observe our two new colleagues as well to see if they what they say they are.
Oh man.
You just see a man with fish. Nothing else.
Goliath with fish.
Goliath
Do
with
we
fish.
need 8 fireballs in the warehouse area?
Literally.
I was hoping
Never
you'd be
wanted
some
to
sort of
cast fireball
disguised
more.
creature with a
Yeah.
sort of demonic
I've never
form
wanted you to cast fireball more.
That's what I thought. When the stress hit, I thought his visage just kind of.
Or he's going to have a ton of
Changed,
invisible
isn't it?
people around him or something
There's
stupid.
people around him, or well, he's been very insistent on giving words, and so he's definitely on a holding, making you commit to that word thing. We met one of those before. It's called Thralty.
Don't know, I've never met Thralty. I've heard of Thralty, never met him.
I spent a whole session drawing up a contract. It was great fun.
Oh yeah. That was Malik.
But yes, Thralty was the other one. When
Yeah,
they
the
met,
woman
met
that he
Thralty, the
hated.
one we hated.
Yeah.
He was off to hunt her.
Heard of Malik as well. Never met him.
What was to be up? Anything else we had to do as a group? Was it just come to the dock, wasn't it?
It's just
Literally.
that's where we left off. We were going to get Duraz onto the council, head back, say yeah, Duraz is in.
Or should we need to get a council meeting organised
Yeah.
ASAP and get him in the council meeting?
Yep, and then
And you do know he's going to try and influence all of the people on that council to keep his rules in place here for distribution of food.
probably.
Oh my god.
How many council members have we got? We had Garaz, Duraz,
We have
Sten, Jeffrey,
we have
Andrew.
Sten, Andrew, Garaz, Jeffrey, Derez, yourself.
Bet they
Borrow.
all go for it because they're
Borrow.
all.
And I thought Corin
We
1,
must-
was.
2, 3, 4, 5,
Or was
6,
it
7.
Edwin? Or was it, no, he was.
Edwin is going to be trained by Jeffrey
That's
to
it.
replace him.
So how many is that in total? 8?
So it's
Or 7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 council people.
At least you have a split. You have a split in there. You should have a deciding vote.
Yeah.
Should we all
And that
appoint
would be
ourselves
the
to council?
person who I think we said
Need it
Andrew
now.
should be in charge.
Yeah.
I didn't write the positions that we put.
Just wait
people
2
in.
hours for like, well, I've finished this barrel. More.
More fish.
What?
You'd be like, no, Gardock. Oh man.
I'm being nice.
Yes,
Nice cards.
we know you're being nice.
I've been courageous.
So yeah, 7 people. Andrew's the leader. I suppose best put positions on this now. So we had Borrow, Sten,
do that, can't you?
Council
Skype.
of list.
Emergency.
I
I'll
can if
I'll
I take
make
it,
all
I
the
think,
thing
but I
and then I'll
haven't
put
taken
on
it.
it.
Do ritual.
The,
Ritual spell.
So Andrew was going to be the leader,
It's
wasn't
a
it?
second. What's great as well, Castle True Seeing gets me my detect thoughts spell slot back.
Sorry, John, I know I gave you a hard time.
Who said it's over?
I think it was giving me
He
a hard
was
time back. I
giving
think,
hell
wasn't
time
it?
back.
I think that was a bit of good.
I love it.
wild.
Okay, so what's the plan?
Convince Gartok not to go back
Yeah,
for more
I'm-
barrel of fish.
Yeah.
Yes, I can cast fire if I
Look,
wanted to.
with Bear
It's on my list.
heading out of the dock.
All right, so you get up to the north of the wall. Your big barrel, fishtail wobbling backwards and forwards in the top of it.
Right.
What am I doing with this, Harbury?
Do we see anyone around? Do we see Garta?
I think where does Gartok want to go to distribute his fish? You said the first people you see, didn't you?
Essentially, yeah. So I'll be getting to the. As soon as I pass his apparent border with this big barrel, I'll be shouting, "Is anyone hungry?"
Okay, so you see a couple of people up here, so you go up that way, and yeah, I'm hungry.
Draw some fish.
Yeah.
Barrel down. And it'd be a handful. So it'd be 2 or 3 fish.
2 or 3 fish.
There you go.
Okay. Thanks very much. How much?
You don't pay me.
Oh, that's great.
If you see anyone else that's hungry,
A couple of other people run up. And if you're giving away fish,
well,
all right. So it doesn't take very long, and there's a cluster of people around your barrel, and you hand out the
Is
fish.
this outside the wall, I think?
Yeah, this is up at where I got the cursor.
Near the markets area, is it?
On Dock Street, not up at the market yet. Yeah, you come through. So as you come through the gate, you can see Gartok already up there with some people around him, and people getting all these fish out.
So you know this map this is the southern docks. You've got the western docks over there.
So that's the southern docks. Western docks over here.
They're not boarded off, are they?
The western docks aren't boarded off.
So what did he have? Has he got some things here, like drawn across, or
We didn't see anything in character. Because we were at these gates and we were led we were led west, weren't we?
No, we turned left, didn't we? Down that way, I believe you said.
When you the other party.
No,
where
we
were
were
we?
just in today.
Oh yeah, where you sat is over in this location here.
I thought we turned left.
Yeah,
down that way.
so we wouldn't have seen what was over.
We didn't want that. Go back.
Ooh.
There you go.
Number 12. Where is it?
so?
Yeah, number 12
I'm
where it's
quite
at.
interested to go to the western docks and see what's happening in the western docks, just as a comparison to the southern docks. Whilst I have my stuff running.
Yep.
So imagine, it doesn't take too long for my barrel to empty, does
It
it?
doesn't take too long for your barrel to empty.
And there's still a group of people around me.
Well,
More people.
once the fish are gone, it's just, right. Okay.
Huh. I'll be back.
Okay. Well, you're halfway through doing the barrel when Harbinger and the Bear come through the gate and see him up there distributing.
We shouldn't distribute here, God.
But the people are hungry.
Yes, and they can go to the centre of the town and get fish if they need to. If you want to make sure that that man is holding to his word, the best way you can do that is to wait in the centre of the town and make sure that he is distributing the fish properly there.
Does anybody try giving me gold for the fish I'm handing out?
Well, yeah. So she goes over and has the conversation. So you
Yeah.
start distributing fish as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone said, how much?
No, they give these away free, don't they?
Do they?
We were told that they give them out in the market.
This is some up in the market as well.
That's what we were told. Have you been to the market?
Not lately.
Oh, Harbinger. I'll shout across to you.
Oh, Naomi, not here.
Hello.
Yeah, she's in the middle of fixed conversation with Gartok.
Hello.
Keep giving out the fish, Bear.
They say they've got to pay for them.
Not in the marketplace. If you go to the marketplace, there should be fish distributed.
Hang on. One of the people walking past me. Have fish been coming out of the docks for free recently?
I know they take fish up to the marketplace and give them out there.
And do people have to pay for it up there?
Well, I don't know. This is the first that I've had of fish. I've been getting some grain from a place over in the east. Fish is a good thing.
About it.
No, I've had fish up in the marketplace.
Do you have to pay for it?
No, a wagon went up and they were just handing them out. Well, another guy shouts out, "No, I have to pay for some."
And how often does it come up?
Every day.
Is that enough
it's
for
only been
everybody?
It's only been a couple of days since they raised the city. So, but yeah, some yesterday.
Is that enough for everyone?
Today, isn't it?
Huh?
Is that enough for everybody that wants it?
I don't know.
Are people still going hungry?
I suppose they are. There's always people going hungry.
We need more fish.
Well, there are ways to do that. We need to clear out the water.
But he's got a warehouse full of it.
Yeah, but he's taking that up to the centre of the town.
Clearly not.
He doesn't have enough wagons.
Look around at the car. Anyone got a cart?
I saw some guys for cart up at the marketplace early this morning. That was empty.
Screw it.
We're not going to solve this here.
No.
You can't distribute fish to
We have to let
everybody in
him
the city. We have to let
control
other
this.
people do it.
This is not our job. We're the protectors of the town. We must trust them to distribute food and deal with the bureaucracy of the town.
Life's never perfect, Gartok, even when it's being run. Misthass had its poor and rich areas.
That's true, but apart from when the elves are, we can come and go as you please.
There's bound to be some adjustment and people are scared.
Yeah.
They react in a bad way when they are scared. I suggest we go to the western docks and see what's happening over there, because that's another potential source of stuff coming into the city. At the moment, Duran's got control over all the stuff coming in via the south docks. We need to understand what the west docks are doing and seeing if there's movement of food in through there.
Alright, just let me
him get a monopoly over
let me go back to his gate and tell him I won't cause any trouble.
Tell him what?
That I want to be told when all the fish is gone.
Why don't we let him distribute the fish? Understand what's gone on from there.
I'm going to march towards the gate again.
Okay,
I follow.
you follow. Okay.
Let's
Just
just
give
look
out fish.
towards
Just
that
give out the
until
fish.
he-
Just give out fish. I've been told by Harry to give out
So
fish.
you march up to the gate, and Gordo's there. You see him pale as you approach.
I'll be marching up the guard.
I've just been up there.
This is my day to die guard protect.
I've just been up there and given out a barrel of fish.
Mm-hmm.
Your boss said he's going to empty a whole warehouse today of fish.
Okay.
I want to come back here at nightfall knowing that all that fish is gone. That's
Okay.
what your boss said he'd do.
At nightfall.
He said today.
Okay. My job is to stand on this gate and make sure people don't go through.
Well, do what you did before and send a message.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Please. That's my job. So I don't know what he's thinking or anyone else is thinking, or when the warehouses are empty.
Could we be informed when the warehouse has been emptied of fish, please?
I can certainly send. I could certainly send a message over to him to tell you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
he told us it would be today. Because he has plenty of it and it comes in. All the ships come in, loads of fish.
I'll send a message to that. So where would you want the message sent?
Have it delivered to.
Well, I want to know, but whatever.
Have it delivered to Andrew at the hall.
Andrew at the halls.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
And tell him that it's a note for Garter.
Okay. All right. I will send a message down. But please understand, I can do as much as send a message. So if anything in it, or your response is not to your liking, I didn't do that. I just sent a message.
I want to make it clear that I'm
Okay.
sticking to my word. I gave out a barrel of fish, and he said, and he gave his word, he will get rid of all the fish in the warehouse.
I believe you. I
He
do.
wants me to trust him. He needs to show it.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Otherwise, I will come back here, and your gate isn't going to stop me.
Well, as long as it's after nightfall, when my shift is over.
Say, because you can go.
Open door.
I mean, they have no door, so. But I certainly have that message sent on.
All I want.
Okay.
I'll turn around and talk back.
Right. But you, Xander, you got any input on anything like that, or you just observed it? Okay.
Just observe.
All right. So your fish all gone.
I was handing the fish out. This is from the Temporary Council of Mistas. Handing out fish like that.
Okay. People start to get a little bit. Come on, hand over the fish as you're slowly doing
One at a time.
One at a
every
time.
single one.
Gartok was taking handfuls full of them. And this fish is...
Yeah, it's taken me a while to get through the barrel.
But it doesn't take too long then. The barrel is empty.
I get one little fish back for his little cat.
Oh.
There's that.
Alright. So now that we finished playing Simfish,
Yep.
Simfish distribution,
I would have been heading over towards the west dock.
you go over to the West Docks. Is rest of the party in on that, or are we going over elsewhere?
Well, if that's where you want to go.
In
then.
our time, yeah, then I'll start moving that way.
Okay.
I'll be moving over slowly to let them catch up, but I
Yeah.
will not be just hanging around.
We'll
Alright.
probably return that barrel there to the gate.
Take the barrel back.
Yeah.
I probably just left mine at the top wherever the people were to be
You take
honest.
Gartok.
I don't know if they have a barrel return policy now.
Let's pick up both barrels under the arm of the sky on the back and then just.
Gordo's. Oh, thanks very much. Normally they come back on a wagon, but yeah, it's good. We won't have to find more barrels. Thank you.
Quite alright. Bye.
God help him if he doesn't deliver all that fish today. Fucking dead.
Okay, so Rasvin, you make your way through the streets, and you get to the gates which lead out to the Western Docks. Nobody's on these gates. See a couple of people move through them. Been through them before. Normally, Yanis was out here previously.
Yes.
So you move out into there, and there's a whole cluster of people. And as you get out, you can see down into the harbour area. It's packed with boats. The jetties have got boats all up them, and there's what looks like a queue of boats waiting to get in here.
What's coming out? Is it just general produce coming off the boats? Or
It
people,
looks like
or-
there's a bit of a combination. There's people coming off. Looks like they're unloading boxes, barrels, and in some cases nets of fish.
I just want to sort of observe where these things are taken to,
Sure.
and where they're distributed to, and where they're moved to. That's what my
So they go through a process, much as you'd expect. They get put on the docks, they get sorted in the barrels, and then there's obviously some people from each boat which organise their stuff. Then that gets loaded up, and it looks like they move them to buildings nearby.
And is it money changing hands when they're doing this, or
It looks like there is money changing hands.
and the people they're doing stuff with? Because the Thieves Guild was over here, wasn't it?
Mhm.
Are they looking roguish, like, or are they looking more? Sort of
That is a
bureaucratic hands?
perception check, sir.
Well, perception checks at the moment. I don't know. Yep, 5.
So many people clustered around. It's difficult to see. Yeah, the rest of the party catch up with Rasvin at this point as he's overlooking the dock area.
So in comparison, this is a bustling dock.
Bustling. I mean, you've been down here before, and it was the rundown, quiet part, and this place is heaving. The southern docks were busy, but it looks like a mass of boats have just struggled to get into this small bay area. There's a few food vendors even that have set up small huts that are serving out food to people, and the smell of food hits you.
But it doesn't look like anarchy.
It doesn't look like anarchy, no.
Busy, but
Yeah.
But not what he was describing.
Mm-mm. If that's the interpretation you want.
I'm going to move down towards the border with the southern docks and try and see where they've got any sort of barrier.
Okay.
Actually.
As certain people at the table will know, there is a barrier that's been built along this run here.
There. Oh,
Yeah.
could go this way. Okay.
Yeah. Across that run there. And then you can see there's a few people with crossbows sort of sat on it. No, crossbows sort of resting on the side. And there's two of them, and they're chatting to each other rather than...
But there's no one trying to make their way in, or...
Mm-mm. No.
I thought this was going to look a lot worse down here, but it looks okay.
Yeah.
If I see them, I'll move back to them.
It is probably more of what we're not seeing. Not seeing who the movers, the wheelers, dealers, and that type.
Probably just do a walk through here and it would be beneficial.
Yeah, I'd like to talk to one of the captains to understand why this is bustling. to see if it really is the fact that the southern docks are more blocked by debris or whether there's a control in place.
Apart from the boats which are queuing to get in,
Mm-hmm.
is there anything like what we've seen in the southern docks where there's the 5 triremes and other bigger boats?
No triremes here, but there are bigger boats further out, which are obviously at anchor. Would struggle to get in
Yeah.
this close.
Perhaps we should just ask some people around if there are any problems.
Yeah. Let's move through. Yeah.
Get a little distance in and just sort of stop someone that looks just like they're going about their business.
Mm-hmm. So you've got a guide it till you stop. It's quite slender, but not weak looking or kind of wiry guy, and he's down towards the dock and he's just walking up. He's got a bag under his arm.
Hello there.
Oh, hello.
How's life in the docks?
You are massive, aren't you? And I mean that as a compliment.
John is here again. Again. He gets everywhere.
Thanks.
I mean, I've served on a few ships, and my goodness me. I mean, you look like you could sit on a longboat and row the oars on both sides.
Never tried.
Well, sincerely, my admiration goes right out to you. You're huge, muscular. Sorry, what was your question?
Are there any problems in the docks at the moment?
Oh, well, at the moment that it's just that it's so busy, really. Of course, you've got people who are trying to slip their hand in your pocket and steal stuff from you, and if anything, there's a little bit of trouble. Plenty of people working here trying to get their business back on track, selling their fish, and they're all being undercut, aren't they?
Why don't you go to the other docks, the southern docks?
Well, face don't fit, if you know what I mean. Hopefully, I'm looking out for getting some work on a ship and I can get out there and earn some proper money soon, but I don't think they're recruiting down at the southern docks.
What are people saying about the southern docks?
Well, that fella, I don't know what his name is, Dudon, whatever his name is. He's got it all. He's got it tied up tighter than a tight thing. You don't know of anywhere I could get some work, do you?
Well, what are you, a sailor?
Well, I've been known to sail, been on the sea. I'm pretty good. I mean, obviously, because of my mannerisms, I get overlooked sometimes, but they all regret it. Once I'm aboard the boat, I'm as good as any of their hardy men.
Can you fight?
Well, I've known to thrust with my sabre from time to time.
I mean,
I try to avoid doing the fighting. I'm mostly good at moving things around, keeping the deck clean, tying a knot.
So you get on well with people then?
I like to think so. Some people don't like me, but then you can't have everybody like you, can you?
Why don't you, well, there was a militia here before.
Oh.
Why don't you join them?
Me in the militia with all those guys cramped up? No, I prefer to be out on the sea with all those guys cramped up, if I'm honest with you.
It doesn't make any sense.
Are you a sailing man?
No.
Oh, well, you come out with me on a boat sometime and you just feel how your legs feel swaying under you with the rhythmic pulsing of the ocean, and then you'll change your mind. You'll want to be on the ocean all the time.
I'd much rather be in the woods. I'm going to step away from one.
Okay.
Weird.
I have a job for you.
Oh, okay. Is it a boat-related job?
Of sorts.
My ears are open. My curiosity is piqued.
A man of your talents, I feel would be well placed to perhaps go and visit the southern docks.
Oh, right.
Maybe work in the distribution and report back to us what's happened.
Well, I mean, I have tried to get myself a job down there before, but I said face doesn't fit. But I could try again if there's a little bit of coin you could throw my way.
Face doesn't fit.
Well, if you go and ask for a job enough times and they keep saying no, you just know, don't you?
They don't like the way you look.
I think that's what it is. They don't like the way I looked. And that must be it. My personality's fantastic.
Is he human?
He is human.
Yeah.
I think
very nice.
it's not very nice, is it? You also are quite big.
Thank you.
Just like him over there who's walked away. I mean it as a compliment. I mean, it does. People don't appreciate how much effort it gets to be in shape like that.
I know, but I do smell a fish. Promises.
Smell of the ocean. I smell of brine.
Who's Brian?
No, brine.
Perhaps you could just go there and observe then, rather than work.
Well, okay, but it sounds like this is taking a job on, so I've been told that my eyes are very good. I see a lot. So if I can take a job on, which is also doing another job, Pellis will do it.
You could take work there if you wish, but I just need it reported back what's happening there. The comings and goings, how often fish is distributed.
Happy to oblige. What does it pay? You going to slip a coin in my pocket?
I'll slip several coins in your pocket.
Oh, what colour and shape?
I will take out 5 gold.
Oh god. Oh my god, that was really scary.
And drop those into his hand.
My. I'm going to be having some fun tonight.
You are indeed. But keep an eye as well.
Absolutely, my eyes will be wide open. I'm going to be on the prowl down that southern docks for you. My friend, what's your name?
My name is Raspin.
Raspin. And when I see something, whatever it is that I'm looking for, where would you like me to report to? Or will you find me?
I'm afraid I'm not sure I could find you as easily as you could find me. We're at the hall still, are we?
At the moment,
At
yes.
the moment, yeah. That's the best place we've got.
Well, I have a place. I don't know if it's still standing.
No, yeah. We should check it out.
You said that people were getting undercut. Were people getting cut and hurt?
Well, sometimes people get cut and hurt, yes, you know. These people just can't stop a bit of rough and tumble. But that's not exactly what I meant, you know. I mean, some people trying to get their business back afloat, trying to get out there and get some fish, sell it, get their livelihoods back, and fish is just being given away at almost so cheap it's ridiculous.
Who's
If only
doing
it
the
was getting
undercutting?
given away.
Oh, I don't really know. Pellis is more down here. I'm in with the men rather than counting the coins and such.
But I'm sure you hear things from the men.
Oh, I hear plenty.
The halls. You'll find us or leave a message for us.
I'm going to get right over there. See what I can find out for you.
Probably up your street, Ramos. I look forward and I'm going to move away.
Okay. Just you and me?
What?
So, we had a nice conversation, weren't we?
Were we?
Just moments ago, you were asking about people being cut, and I said no, it's just a bit. So, what's your name?
Bear.
Bear?
Oh.
Like B-A-R-E or B-E-A-R?
Like bear.
Okay. I think I'm going to go then. Lovely to meet you though, Bear.
Bye.
Bye. He stands there for a moment to see if you go.
Just stand away.
Alright. Alright. See you. Pat your shoulder.
I pat it was a little bit too hard.
Oh. And he heads off into the city.
Completely oblivious bear.
Put us a curse.
He doesn't have one. That's a thing. He has nothing.
Didn't Duran say that this was, lawless and? Yeah, I'm sure there's pickpockets out, but one of them not.
Perception. His version of lawless, maybe this. He was quite fastidious
Yeah.
As soon as you say
on giving
pickpocket,
your word.
I pull my little bunny out. He holds his bunny in one big hand. It's just a toy bunny, like a teddy bear, little teddy bunny, with ears over the top.
So cute.
Is there anywhere which looks like it's a pub?
So you take a little walk around and you find what looks to be a repurposed warehouse with a sign over the top saying the dregs.
I'm going to find information. This would be the place to be.
Good to understand from us, from the captains, what's going on, if they're in here.
Do we head in or I'll look at Starfinder and Bear? Lesser known going.
Do you two fancy going in and getting some information?
About what?
Do you fancy going in and finding some information? You will escort him and protect him.
Okay.
Your face is less well known. Maybe you can understand what's going on around here.
I said.
I'm sure I can find out something.
I will come with you then.
So two of you are going to go into the dregs. Alright.
If there's any trouble, send your cat.
I think you'll hear any trouble if something happens.
We may not be directly outside.
The High Priestess will find you.
As soon as you said protect him, I fall into a role like he seems quite well acquainted to, and is one half step behind you, just stood over you, protecting you in a very
I will,
intimidating manner.
I will call Hootie down.
Mm-hmm.
There.
Hello.
This is Hootie.
Hello, Hootie.
She will perch on your shoulder, and that way we will know if something is amiss.
Okay.
If our aim is to get information, a rather large owl is probably not the way to do that. I understand your position here, but I feel like we'll be able to find you if something happens.
I like the
Very
owl.
well. She disappears from your shoulder.
Oh.
What did you see? Fucking massive guy with an owl on his shoulder.
I'll put
I can see
10
you're very
gold,
powerful.
20.
There's only so far magic can get you.
Oh, I agree. It has its uses, but the mind is much better tool.
I'll put 10 gold, 20 silver, and 30 copper. I'll pass a pouch over to you. It may prove useful to get more information.
In the front door, out the back. Never seen again.
Yeah. Test for the pizza.
Okay. Alright, so the two of you are going to go in.
I will just be behind him in, as if you would expect like somebody with a sellsword or something like a protection behind them. I'm just walking half a step behind Starfinder.
As a out of character thing, you're specifically looking for information about what the fuck's going on around here. Anything.
Essentially, who the
what-
movers are, if there's what businesses are being set up.
Why the West docks are operating the way they are, and the
Yeah.
South docks are being
Any-
avoided,
anything
or is
you
there
can.
control in place? So they told us that the South docks had had things underneath them stopping the ships coming in so quickly.
Harriet,
So is that
bring me back a whisper.
Is that true? Is why are these people landing at the West docks, not the South docks? I don't know, expected around there. Maybe there's something for free there they can trade it here, but just trying to verify what's going on. Do they know why there's a limit on ships going in? Because of the South docks, there wasn't this press of boats. That's what I would have spoken. I'm doing it in a condensed form rather than that's what Raspin would have communicated he's interested in understanding, and then they're going for the wider Movers Shakers players.
To just why is not as much coming into the Western Docks.
And if there were trouble, so is this calmer than it was? Was there a lot of trouble earlier? What do they think about Duda?
Are they being forced? Are they being forced into this side and not able to use the Seven Dogs type thing? This is the street outside, is it?
Yes.
Inside, I think it's inside, isn't it?
And this is
outside,
outside.
outside.
This is outside. Yeah. So there's a universal truth in this game and in LARP. In LARP, the monsters put their hands in the air so you can't see them as they approach and they teleport in, but everybody can see them, and they walk along with their hands up, and you can see every one of the players get their sword ready. I put a map on the board, and everyone goes,
Mine's more. Yeah, I recognise
I'm pretty sure I've even thought about combat.
We
die.
had a big fight in that area before in one of our recent sessions.
I have no damaging spells. I completely support.
I understand that.
That's great.
It doesn't mean that we're going to get
You've
into
got a way
fight.
to get into us. We're not going to be far away. And the Trammels has got a fair amount of range.
What's the range of a fireball?
If somebody tries to hurt you, just tell me, and I will stop them doing that.
Alright. So bolstered, you go in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Inspiration.
It's quite busy at the moment. There are tables and chairs all along each side. There's what looks like a round table with some chairs on, and there are people sat all around those. Bar at the far end. There's a guy behind the bar. There's a notice board right next to the door. Right, a la that. Yeah. But yeah, there's quite a bustle of people talking. Looks like people have got mostly small clay cups they're drinking from, and a few people have got plates which are empty.
Oh, there's the drinks. We've just seen, he said.
The menu.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I feel like we shouldn't cause too much tension right away. Let's just get settled first.
I'm 8 foot and light blue/grey.
Yes, right.
I'm 8 foot, 320 pound.
The piano doesn't quite stop when you go in, but a few people look.
Head under the door.
Right. Find a place for us. Somewhere around. I'm sure you're a better judge of character than I am. Look for those celery types.
So look for them what? Celery?
Savory. Some that you would assume to be on the sea. Interesting.
Okay.
Also, any preference on drink?
A beer, please.
Come on.
I'll look around the bar and I'll go, shouldn't I just follow you?
Find out. Not much.
Why are you pissed?
I'll be fine for the time being. Just find somewhere to sit down. Somewhere with lots of people to listen into.
Is there a table like smack in the middle?
Brilliant.
We've got a number of chairs right. Hang on.
Yeah.
I'll put it up.
And there's nobody at the middle table.
No, there are a couple of people sat on 2 of the chairs at the middle table.
Right.
We'll talk to each other, yeah. But there's 2 other chairs free there.
I'll just walk up. Do they look like the sailory type?
Oh yeah.
I'll just sit down here and just say, is it here okay?
That's fine, darling. I'm just at the bar looking to get 2 beers as
Are you going over to the bar? Okay. Make a strength check for the chair. It's okay. So
for now.
Sorry?
For now.
yeah, you sit down hard on it, and what the back sort of moves away from where it's been joined. But you lean forward a bit, and it holds it. It's got arms on either side of it, and you kind of have to slide into it with the arms tightly pushed against your flesh on either side. It's not an unfamiliar experience for you. What can I get you?
2 of whatever the cheapest thing you have.
Whatever the cheapest thing I've got is. Cheapest. Cheap is not the right word. I mean, you've got to look at it as a value proposition. I mean, many things are the same price, but don't necessarily have the same thing in them.
I like your positivity. 2 of your best value.
That is the first fucking time anybody's said that I'm positive. Well, look, do you want a short ale? Or do you want a big ale?
One of both.
One of both. No problem. It's 4 silver.
Okay.
Anything to eat? We're on the afternoon menu at the moment.
We've just eaten, but thank you very much.
That's a relief. There's not enough to go round. And
Not enough, you say?
no, very little food. But we've made do. We've managed to construct an interesting and varied menu, which is keeping, I think, everybody happy.
Oh, perhaps.
I mean, the plates just aren't as full as I'd like them to be.
There's still supply.
Well, yeah, we've managed to get food in.
But not enough.
Not enough. No, not as much as we'd like. I think it'll be a while before things are sorted out.
I've seen around the place, things are definitely not how I was told. But that was several months ago.
Oh, well, several months ago, it's a completely different thing. I couldn't have conceived of opening a bar. First of all, didn't have the money. Secondly, too much competition. I don't know why. There was a place called the Hung Goat. No one was ever in there. But everybody said, oh, go to the Hung Goat, go to the Hung Goat. Just filled with old blokes. And the Weary Sailor, it's just everybody was there for the prostitutes. Oh, there was a band as well. Yeah. But now, no one. Virtually the only bar in town.
Sometimes all you need is the patience.
Well, I'm hoping I can get a good stranglehold, a loyal customer base before everybody else gets the idea and starts setting up a bar. But you're quite right. If I can get more food in, more drink, this place will be bustling. But don't you worry. Stoney's got it in hands. Just a little bit more time.
I'm sure it'll come in time.
Anyway, short ale and a big one.
Absolutely.
Goes down. You don't see exactly what he does, but he produces 2 different sized clay cups.
And so it was 4 silver, right?
4 silver.
I'll give him 5 silver, specifically not from the bag.
Okay. He slides them off the counter one at a time, and you hear them chung 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 into something behind the counter. Thanks very much. You know what? It's nice to have some polite clientele.
I've noticed that around people around here. It's understandable. Like you have gone through what can only be described as a tragedy.
Yeah.
I'm glad I only really caught the arse end of it.
Yeah, you're lucky. Hopefully it's all up from here. And, you know, all you're going to need is the right backing. That's what I found. I was virtually sleeping on the streets, and then the right person comes up to you, they give you all the opportunities you need, you know. I mean...
Who's the right person in your case?
He likes to be more of a silent partner, you know. But he didn't tell me what to do. He just sort of pushed me in the right direction.
Fair enough. I'm sure we'll go back up to the bar for more drinks in a bit.
Oh, right, okay. Well, if you change your mind on that food, I still do have some stuff out the back. Plenty of the spice salad. Nobody's been going for that today.
I'll admit, unique sounding dish. That's what I got.
Okay. Alright, so you take your drinks back over to the centre table. The 2 guys who are there have gone quiet since Bear sat down. Didn't notice.
I apologise for my larger acquaintance here.
Alright, no, that's alright. There's only so many chairs to go round.
Yeah.
Is that mine?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
The big one. Yeah.
Okay.
I hope we're not interrupting on anything.
No, not at all. Really just talking about plans for tomorrow.
Why? Any interest? I mean, I don't want to intrude, but there's not a lot around here that can be done, at least from what I've heard.
I know there's a lot of work that's going to be done up in that town, but that's not for the likes of me. I don't know about you. But no, my plans all involve getting our boat going out there. Getting fish, small fish, big fish, bigger fish. Looking to get a massive fish, actually. Something huge, something unreasonably expensive.
Well, you can't just leave me in suspense like that. How huge are we talking?
I've got to be honest, my eyes are bigger than my boat.
You're going to need a bigger boat.
I'd like a bigger boat. Yeah, I know. I thought that really, after everything that happened, I'd have an ideal opportunity to get myself a new boat, but it seemed there were slim pickings afterwards. You think there'd be plenty of unoccupied you could have. That bloody lot that came in, they bought tons of ships. Would have thought I could have got some of that, but plenty of them sailed out, and well, I went round. All I managed to get is a small single master. Me and Doshan here, we go out on it.
I'm quite sorry. You said someone brought the ships.
When the town was attacked, right, the enemy that came in, they came in on loads of ships. And plenty of boats that came in as well, supplying and taking stuff out elsewhere. We weren't really allowed to do much in the way of fishing, as it were, for fear that we'd get out of town and, escape.
It's been terrible.
I consider myself lucky that I'm as simple a man as I am. And it's a good job I'm not a spellcaster. I was a fortune teller up on the hill, Fish Street way. And she not magical at all, She'd pull out some cards, read them out to people, but she'd make a load of shit up, get some coins for it. And they had her out of her place, tongue gone, hands gone, and they realised she had nothing. Well, found her in the drink out there.
You mean like these cards?
You in the same game as her then?
In a sense.
Well, if you've got any true talent, you'll be safe now. At least Morthel's lot is gone, so you should be safe to do magics again. Unless new management turn out to be just as tyrannical. Depends whoever raises their ships in next, or comes in from the sky or under the ground or whatever.
The miner.
Yes.
Mole men.
Yeah.
That's what you got to watch out for. Yeah.
Something. I've been around here just for a couple hours, and something about these dogs just seems off.
Like what?
I don't know. It's almost like people aren't being honest with themselves, and quite frankly, honesty is something I very much like to see in people.
Right. Okay. Don't know if it was ever an honest place, really. This is an area of town, but you have to be careful if you go out after dark.
Why would that be?
Before, there's the rough end of town. Buildings here are, homes here are cheaper. But there'd be people out after dark looking to stab you, take your coins, and anything else you got.
And now that before is gone?
Well, now, place is crawling with people. People, well, it's always bad news when there's too many people, isn't there? Too much competition, not enough houses to go round, not enough food to go round. What do you get next? People turn mad, don't they? Savage, like animals.
And as for the The waters themselves, any problems there?
Water. Filled with problems. And waters are filled with them. At least the western docks are somewhat safer than out there in the southern docks. There's something that's swimming around under that water. Serpent, I reckon. At least 70 feet long.
I assure you, if there was something really that deep under there, you would have seen it by now.
You obviously know nothing about the sea. Because it's a massive pit that stuff can hide in. I saw a woman looking at me from under the sea once. I looked over the side of the boat there to get my net, hoping just for a whole clutch of lobsters. And what to get a woman's face looking right back at me. Horns she had. Looked like one of those toothlings.
I'm going to ignore that comment, just because I understand where you're coming from with this. But something just seems weird.
I want you to be level with me. Right. Now I've had a couple of drinks. Have you come out of the sea? Have you just walked out of the sea? You like undersea devil man?
What if I was?
That'd be fucking brilliant, wouldn't it? Great story, that would. You imagine being able to sit round telling a story about the time that an undersea devil man actually came out and sat and had a drink with me. Oh, people would be buying me drinks for ages. I'd love to meet an undersea devil man. Are you?
Is anyone else thinking of Mighty Boots?
Oh, maybe you can be more honest with me.
Alright.
What's actually going down here? Because I know you're not telling me everything.
You want to know everything?
I don't know everything. And quite frankly, my friend here does not scare you just from his presence.
Well, I mean, he's big, but he also seems quite childlike.
I'm paying any attention.
Okay. It's like water, but a slightly.
Yeah.
There is a taste to it.
Look at that.
I saw some ale 4 months ago.
Right. Well, what kind of? I'm not sure kind of everything you want to know.
There's something else going on here.
There's plenty going on here.
You're going to tell me everything you can think of.
Am I?
Trust me. You do not want to play the fool in this story.
The guy with it goes, that's you.
And I cast
Shut the fuck up.
Cause fear.
Okay.
Oh my god!
Okay.
And his roll is automatically a 4.
Oh. Okay.
It's always good.
So just as he's saying "fuck off" to the guy with him, because he's the fool, he. You are an under DC devil man, aren't you? He moves his chair away from the table.
Stand behind him.
He kind of stands up.
You get up and the chair comes up with you.
Push it off.
Just collapse.
Spends the next 10 minutes trying to undo a chair.
Just walks slowly behind the both of them. Put my hand on the back of his chair.
Now I'm going to say this once. You're going to tell me everything you know, every rumour, everything you've seen. Anything that could be a threat to this place.
Morphel's actually an elf, and he's running the Elven Quarter. There's a furry creature that runs around the southern part of the western docks. It's hiding in the sewers, and it jumps out and attacks people at night. I'm not sure my mum was my actual mum.
I don't see how that can be a threat to our...
I just thought you said everything.
I did. You have some deep personal issues you may want to...
When I was very young, my dad, he took me to see a puppet show and it scared the living shit out of me. I can't look at a puppet anymore. There's a guy who was on another boat I was with, and he had like a little weird puppet thing, and I had to leave the ship and get on a different ship. I was married once. My wife, she put on a bunch of makeup and she looked just like a fucking
Click
puppet.
around the back of the head. What wants to know about the towel?
Oh, right, okay. Well, there's a group of... While we're all independent here, we're all paying a part of our money to a group. And they're getting a bit angry because they're not making enough money. I think that's the torch, they're called. They get a cut of every ship that comes in.
Is that everything?
No, I heard it more fell. He had himself a warehouse. Not on the western side, but on the eastern side. It was packed high with these huge cube-like jelly things.
Oh my god.
And them all stacked up for some reason. Didn't see it myself.
Okay. You can let him go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I go?
I just don't know where.
Imagine if everyone combined for one like Megan.
Mostly no.
200-foot
Our
tall
ships will be
Megan.
spared from now on.
He's the undersea devil man.
I'll leave.
Okay. You leave, he's going over and he's gone to another table. Right, just having
Don't see devil moments.
Okay, so while they're inside, you're all waiting out there, aren't you?
Are there any street vendors?
observing.
Food? Are there any like food street vendors?
Yeah, just short distance away, there's a hut with like a red and white painted roof.
Go and get myself some food.
So you get quite a queue of it, people are queuing up.
I was like patiently.
Okay. You wait through and you get the front. Alright. What can I get you?
What have you got?
Pig buns. Portions aren't as good as they used to be, but big buns. I got 3 left.
Other people behind me. One.
Okay. One pig bun, and he produces for you a thick, crusty looking bun with a very thin pink layer in the middle of it. Just a couple of copper for that.
I'll get a couple of silver. Got this fish in a pouch.
That's great.
Are you struggling for food down here?
Yeah, we get what we can do. It's we've got a couple of people going out into the wilderness and seeing if they can find us anything, you know.
What if you had loads of fish? I know you're doing it with pigs, but
Yeah, it would be a complete rebrand.
would you cook it if you had it?
You know, selling fish on a dock in the bay is... No, you want something different. If you can get me some pigs, ready supply of pigs, and pigs that are making more pigs on a regular basis so I don't run out of pigs, that's what I'm looking for. If you go out in the wilderness, you find a farm that hadn't been stripped bare, and someone prepared to give me, then, well, you're rolling in it.
Alright, I'll keep you in mind.
Okay. You walk away, he serves out the next 2 buns, and then pulls down a roller on the front. The next person to go goes, "Oh!"
I've been there first.
Does it taste good?
It's bacon. It's bacon. The bun is clearly past its 12-day best, but the meat is welcome. Okay. So you've gone off to go and get that. As you do, then Goraz comes around the corner towards the dregs. So Goraz, if you've not encountered before, is a tiefling. He's got reddish purple skin. His horns are like a mix. There's segmented horns, and they're a greyish colour, but have part black in them, and they curve back over his head. He's wearing a shirt with what looks like a simple leather jerkin on the back. And he comes around the corner, heading towards the dregs. Ah! Well, a chance to run into you here, eh?
We are just seeing what's been happening in town since we were last here.
Good to get yourself reacquainted with what's going on, I think, anyway. I'm happy to see you doing it. Hopefully you can get things back in shipshape in no time, eh? And, who's your friend here?
This is Rasvin.
Rasvin. The Rasvin.
The Rasvin.
Well, I am beside myself with admiration. A spellcaster of such formidable power, you, sir, are an asset to the town.
Thank you. Not everyone feels that way. Nice to hear a supportive voice.
Oh, well, I thank the gods for all the blessings that come my way, and this evening, before I set my head down, I'll be blessing them that you're here along with Dramos, Harbinger, and he looks around, catching sight of Gartok, waiting at the thing. And Gartok there.
He's feeding his hunger.
Well, tough to do now, isn't it?
It is.
Well,
You own this area, or
own? What is that these days?
do you operate down here?
No.
You on the council?
It would seem that I've been opted to do so, and I'm very happy to serve. No, I've only been put in place as a person who gets stuff done, I suppose. Yeah.
What, here or in the council?
I organised people getting more defensive about the wall after the enemy left.
Okay.
But that's as far as my interests really go. Hopefully. That won't be necessary now as a council. It gets some militia back in place if that Jeffrey chap is as good as he sounds. And I can step down and get back to business, which is more my business.
What is your business?
Do you know what? I really don't know. I'm kind of letting the... at least my plans were to let the waters take me where they are. This seems to be where they've taken me right now.
Well, we're keeping you.
I was just about to pop in and get myself a drink. I find my tongue often quite dry. It was a pleasure to meet you, anyway.
A pleasure, though. I don't think you'll be getting much in the place called the Dregs.
No, but hopefully more fine establishments will open soon. But I think it's going to be a long road to get all the pieces back in place. And Harbinger, as always, pleasure to see you. I feel safer with you around. I really do. Yeah, I'm going to get myself at least 3 short drinks. It's the only way to get a proper drink in this place. And he goes in to the dregs.
As we walk
As you guys are coming out.
Is he escorted by anybody or something?
No, he's walking on his own.
Just as he heads off in Infernal, I'll say, expect council meeting soon.
He replies in common. Sorry, what was that?
Expect council meeting soon.
Yeah. Yes. I like my speech to be plain for everyone to understand. And I very much look forward to the council meeting, although I don't feel it's really my calling, but I'll do my part. Anyway.
We've managed to get an associate of yours onto the council. Duran is his name?
Oh, we got him on.
Yes.
Well, that's good news. He's a good man, good organiser. Well, look forward to butting heads with him.
He's looking forward to supporting you.
Is that what he said?
Of a fashion.
I'm sure he did. Poor sheltered boy, he'll come around.
One would hope.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, as I say, pleasure, and as you two come out, good day.
Hello, Garaz.
Hey. How you doing?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm good, running from one place to the next.
It's very tiring. Should walk.
Well, I was. Yes, you're right. I'll see you later.
Goodbye.
Take care, Bear.
Goodbye, Garaz.
And he
Don't
goes,
drink the beer. It tastes horrible.
I know.
Oh, and I'm sorry we haven't met.
Yes.
Acquaintance. There's an old man rambling in there. Some old wives' tale by the sense of it. Maybe just keep an eye on him. He doesn't seem like he's in the best place.
No. Okay, I'll keep an eye out for
It's
him.
more of a warning to yourself. I don't want anything happening to anyone in a position of power here.
I won't. What's your name, sir?
Starfinder.
Starfinder. Interesting choice of name. Do you choose it yourself, or does someone else give it to you?
Let's keep that a mystery, shall we?
I like it. Yes. Well, always a pleasure. And he winks at Dramos and nods his head to you, and then heads inside.
Sorry, if you stretch my...
Seems like you had as much fun as we did.
I've got a bacon pan.
Not bad.
Fair enough.
There's none left.
Quite right. Oh, by the way, the money was not needed. Turns out the people here are quite nice.
Keep it. Make them handy at other times.
Okay. I'll split that. So it was 5.
10 gold,
Set up.
20 silver, 30 copper.
So 5,
5, 10, 15.
5, 10, 15 of each, yeah.
Is it approaching nightfall?
It will be, with everything you've done. Yeah.
It was 9:30 when we set out from the tower. Well, no, it was 9:30 when we met back at the tower.
Is my house still standing?
After all this time, it is.
I didn't want to distract him, wasn't it?
You see Andrew.
And your farm?
Yes.
You haven't been out there in a while.
Been in a while, but you must make a note to go to the farm.
Go scry it.
I will later on. Yeah, probably wouldn't. I was too busy. I've been too busy scribing spells into my spell book the last day or two. I will scry the farm.
Did you
later
double
on.
level up? Or just single level?
I double leveled.
Oh.
So
A
I
lot of
had 4
scribing.
spells to pick. Plus I had about. I've just spent 3,150 gold scribing spells. It's 50 gold a level. About 65 levels of spells going into the spell book.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
That book I found in
Yeah.
where the
There's a lot of stuff in it. Yeah. Alright, what's the plan?
I'll go see Andrew.
Back to the centre of town to see Andrew.
Alright. So, as you arrive back in the marketplace, just in time to see a cart heading off south down Dock Street.
so as an empty barrels perchance.
There are a bunch of barrels on the back.
Are
Are
the
they
people...
bouncing as if they're empty?
One of them wobbles a little bit from the
Okay.
motion. So, if you go into the halls, you go past over the mosaic of King Mylock, and Andro is sat at his desk with he has a small candle burning and a bunch of paper.
Hi, Andrew.
Oh, Gartok. What can I do for you?
Have you had any messages for me?
Well, let me have a look. I don't think I have, but I'll just go through the. No, nothing for you.
Someone should have gave you a message that the fish from the south docks was given out.
Oh, okay. Well, I haven't got a message for you.
Oh, don't worry, we'll deal with it.
He's lied to me.
It may just be a communication error. It may not even be empty yet.
The instructions were clear. It was when the warehouse is empty and you
I assume they won't talk about
We
it.
spoke
I
to
told you by now.
I'm not switched on enough to.
Duraz.
No, we're not.
Oh, what's he
we'll
like?
probably sit down somewhere.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
Interesting. I'll let you form your own opinion of it. What is important, I think, is getting the council meeting as soon as possible.
Okay. Well, I will schedule one in as soon as possible, I suppose.
Yeah.
I've got the list of names.
Do you mind just repeating it back to us?
Well, I'm sure you have it there, don't you, Travis?
I've got it here.
Yeah. So we've got Goraz, Jeffrey, and we've got Borrow. We're just playing Borrow. Sten. I'm on it myself. And you're Doraz.
And Bear.
Oh, and Bear, of course.
Hello. Smiles. Very big smile.
Have you discussed with the others positions that you might be thinking about taking?
Really, we met a couple of hours ago, and I have a mound of papers to sort, so no discussion really. After we broke our meeting, everybody just went off to their own businesses. I'm sure it'll all get worked out at when we have a meeting. We're going to need some fresh ink, and a lot of paper.
I would propose this, Harris. So it's Andrew, you would be council leader, Borrow as lawmaster, Sten as hallmaster, Jeffrey as militia captain, Bear as representative of minority races, Dora as city defence, and Dora as harbour master.
Harbour Master or Master of Commerce? If there isn't somebody put into that position, it leaves lawlessness in the commerce world.
Well, we'll leave you to your duties. Is there something else? He's a busy man now. Always was, actually.
Okay, we'll see you soon, no doubt.
Yes.
Things sure have changed, haven't they, in the past few months?
Yeah, it has. How do you
I
feel?
will cast light on his candle.
Oh, that is so much better. How do I feel? Strangely, I feel less threatened than I used to. Always used to have people come in demanding things of me, unrealistic demands and things that I couldn't help. And now it seems the world's problems are so much bigger. People's demands seem less intimidating.
You should get yourself an office and get a clerk to come out here and do this.
Oh, well, I don't know about that.
You need help with that paperwork. You can't do it all yourself.
You've got new duties.
No. Well, maybe you're right. If I could just find somebody who's efficiently organised, then I will. Yeah.
Are we debriefing?
Yes, we probably should, yeah.
Do we still have a room here or a meeting room?
Is there any spare rooms here? Nothing?
Yes, the office just a lot across the way there. There was a lot of blood in it, but we had it all cleaned up, so it should be fine.
It will go in there, that's fine. The blood doesn't bother me.
So you all head over to that room. There's a bit of haphazard furniture in here, but there's enough to find a few chairs.
So, Starfinder, what did you learn at the inn?
Well, so the main problem they have is that there is a certain group of people who are not happy with how things are run at the moment. Their name's the Torch, and they have started taking a cut of a ship that comes forward.
Probably the Thieves Guild of sorts.
The who?
The
The
Torch.
Never heard of it.
Next up, another problem seemed that the people are worried of a creature within the sewers. Something fluffy, did they say?
Yes.
Something fluffy in the sewers. And apparently that was causing fear.
Okay.
Rabbits are fluffy.
Yes, they are. And last and arguably the biggest stretch, apparently people are scared of Morfell still. I believe he is still here. Within the Elven Quarter, in a warehouse in the east.
He's dead.
Yeah, he's definitely.
I'm just reporting what the people have said. There was
Wow.
also one man who has a very messed up childhood, but I don't think that's a problem that will affect everyone.
Oh my god.
I'm sure many of us have had trouble with childhoods.
That's why I feel like this town... I will preface by saying I've been here less than a day. And I've been shadowing arguably some of the most powerful people in this entire place. Entirely out of luck. Team Sardonyx has truly shined in my favour, at least today.
You're a worshipper of Sardonyx?
However, I've seen what I can only describe as a culture of fear from all of you. And I say this knowing that in an instant my head could be gone from either of you. Even from someone who doesn't seem quite the capabilities of the rest of you.
I love Bear so much.
That's brilliant.
He's a great character.
I have no idea how to run a tavern, let alone an entire town, one that should have been ravaged by a dragon. But I know that fear corrupts people.
I usually find that people aren't frightened around me.
They're scared of showing it.
Are you scared of us?
Oh, terrified. And like I said, I've been around you for less than 12 hours. You know what your friend the Docs described you as? Called you the biggest threat in this town. Bigger than Morfell ever could have been.
Starting to feel rather
And these are the
unwanted.
people you want under your command. As members of your council, you want these people to listen to you. You want these people to look up to you. And you have created a culture of fear around yourselves. I get it. You never asked to be heroes. That's what you are, though. The people have called you. But a hero who frightens everyone around them is no hero.
I'm not scared.
And I'm glad you're not. But you're brave the most.
Now I have my bunny. My bunny makes me brave.
Not everyone has that, Bunny. Some people are just trying to live their lives. I'm one of them. Sure, I have minor magical abilities, but I'm just someone trying to survive. I please beg of you, as a commoner, as someone who's not on your council, someone who has no position of power within this place, to think about what you're doing, and to the people around you, the people who will look at you and see the true villain. Thank you for your time. Now leave.
Get up.
Yeah, you'll be gone.
You make your way out the chambers and out the main halls and then out into the streets. It's got dark out there. There are what's left of some market stalls, very few people around there, and some lights from buildings around you, and you look pondering what to do next. The right hand side you can see what looks like perhaps a drunk, something lay down in an alleyway, flat out on the floor, face down. You go to glance away and then look back and they're not moving. And their face is in a puddle of water.
Yeah, instantly going over and just sort of pulling them out of it, at least putting them out of the water, starting just checking on them.
You go over, between the two buildings, get over and grab the guy's shoulders and pull him over. There's a fish on the ground nearby where he is. You roll him over and the front of his body is a matted mess of gore. Looks like his chest and neck have been ripped to pieces. And then you pick him up, blood runs out into the water.
Fucking bridges, eh?
So while you're out pondering that, he's gone and leaving you in the room.
I have to know. I'll be back. I'm not going to cause any trouble. No, I'm going straight to the Southern Docks.
Okay.
But when I get close to them, I'm wild shaping into a cat.
Okie dokie.
I'm just going to.
Will you see him walk out as he leaves the building?
He's gone down in like a side street, I suppose. Are you actually in a side street that's visible from the thing? So I'll give a perception check from you to see if you.
I will not make a perception check, but I'd like the High Priestess to.
Okay.
As my sort of luck while I'm tending someone's fucking better.
Perception.
I'll just roll to that.
Natural 1 for 2.
You just scuffle past without any attention.
Okay. That is a 11. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. So you're transfix on that, and High Priestess doesn't. And you trot off towards.
As a cat, yeah, I'm going to trot into the Southern Docks and head straight for the warehouse where apparently there was a ton of fish.
Okay. So you go down that way. Rest of the group.
We have to tread carefully. We can't be shown to exert any power or demands.
I think we leave this task.
I'm thinking of retiring back to my farm and seeing how that is doing and getting some trade going again.
Head north, try and praise Darius, but the face will fail and
The city's free. It'll
leave
rerun the way it was before. It had its characters who wielded power and
Don't forget
its
that
cesspits.
just a few hours ago when you came out the hall, there was a whole crowd of people that stopped and applauded and cheered for you. So that also happened in counterpoint to what you experienced tonight.
Rastin was coming into town.
I'm going to stay here. I feel like I have belonging now.
I think we just need the council to run for a few months and see how things develop. We can't be coming and demanding things are run in a certain way. We've empowered people to try and bring some order. We've got to trust them to bring some order.
We should just continue what we were here to do in the first place.
Well, we have other things to tidy up, don't we? We have the dragon.
Yeah.
We have the black dragon to the north. There's Mother still about.
Yeah.
There's plenty of other things we need to tidy up.
Burn is missing, by the way. Burn is still missing.
I hate to point out the obvious, but I think we have a bigger problem.
What's that?
Gartok's gone to the docks.
Oh, I can see.
I think we can't control Gartok. We've asked him nicely to not intervene. I hope he doesn't cause trouble. But we can't keep babysitting him more. He has his own thoughts, his own ways. I hope his more nature by his side comes out rather than the warrior. I'm going to retire back to my home. Is Malamir around actually?
Yeah, I think he's in town. Yeah.
Yeah. Catch up with Malamir perhaps.
That's fair.
Do you wish to head out in the morning or?
Don't really have anywhere to sleep.
You're certainly welcome to come when there's a floor space. We have a cellar which never investigated. Perhaps that could be something we can look into. Maybe that will give us access to parts of the city we don't know about.
I used to have a cellar. Now I have a ruggle. So yeah, maybe stay.
Why don't you both come back?
Yeah.
Maybe we can leave a note here for Gartok to come and find us.
Well, his hut was in reasonable condition when we saw it.
What do you do in bed? Do you have somewhere to stay?
I'll stay here as part of the council.
Oh.
Is there any way I could contact you to tell you if something goes wrong? Thinking's not my strong point.
I can visit you in your dreams and we can talk then.
Okay. That sounds like fun.
If you need to get hold of anybody there, just ask Andrew to send a message to us.
Okay. And Andrew.
Did you meet Ingara as well? At the Temple of David?
No, I didn't.
He's a smaller man with a moustache.
Everybody's small to me.
Oh, quite small. Very small.
No, I don't know Ungara.
He can contact us as well if ever you need. The people at the temples can usually contact us.
Okay.
Can you roll initiative, please?
Fucking looter.
One thing that I need to
That's a
try and
5.
do before we leave town.
Oh wow,
Just
and the High Priestess has, I think, a 15? Nope, just a 13.
There.
Right. So you turn the body over, and you're standing upright, and you just catch a glimpse of movement, and you look across the courtyard behind this alley and see this figure coming to view. Huge shoulders, fur-matted body with a wolf's head, tattered dress just hung over its body, ripped to shreds.
Oh, it's the fucking sewer.
Okay, and he's sniffing the air, but you're up.
Where is this?
You're in that alleyway there.
Have you got a mini?
I do.
This is where we're walking out probably.
We can hope.
Well, that would work out.
It's very proud. It's very last minute though.
So it's up here.
I'm up first.
You're up first.
And not my cat who's got much higher than me.
Oh, well, yeah, you cowardly. I got an hour.
Can't fucking do anything. Other than you'd probably be the first to alert. You know, obviously at this point I haven't really seen anything, so I'll go forward and see that motherfucker. Oh shit. And just sort of scrambling around.
Is this the hall or is it?
No, the halls are over there. So he's walked out the halls and seen an alleyway.
Okay.
Gone down that way.
No, I'm just sort of scrambling around. Fuck, it's real, isn't it? Knowing I'm gonna get fucked up, I'm just gonna cast Mage Armor. At least maybe you can tank something. And
Good
that's
start.
it. No, that's... I can't
What
fucking...
about your cat?
Well, familiars can't attack.
You have a touch spells. Mage armor him.
Remember when I said I had 0 attack spells?
You weren't
I
joking.
wasn't joking.
I'm surprised. I'm just still surprised you're
So
still
you cast
there.
Major Armor on yourself.
Yeah, it's just
Is that you done?
it is literally the only thing I can think of. Yeah.
Okay. So the thing there, it's got a tattered dress on it. Sniffs the air, and its head comes round to regard where you are. Its arms hit the ground as it leaps forward, putting its full weight on its arms, and then pounces. Getting right up to you. It's leaping through the air as it gets towards you. So it's mid-air at the point it tries to attack you. It will attempt to claw you.
Really should have saved
14 to hit you.
that. Misses.
And as the claw just rakes across the magical protection that your armour has given you, its mouth goes to drop on you. That is going to be a dirty 20.
Oh, obviously, yeah.
Okay. For only 3 points of damage and a Constitution saving throw, please.
Not bad.
What's that roll?
That's a fair.
Okay.
It's 2 plus 2.
So it across the magical protection like a shield appears of blue light pretending its claws, and as you look down in relief at it, you just see the mouth come down hard in your neck, biting, blood spraying out and running down your body. It comes back and lets loose. What would you like to do now?
Cry. I cannot take this on. But I also don't want to lead it into the fucking halls. That's just a fucking bad idea.
I found something.
Just blood, like.
Could do that and hope for a high roll. Or do that and hope for a low roll. I'm just going to scramble for the deck. Pull out the moon and cast sleep.
Okay.
And fucking hope. Let's go do a check.
It's just
5d8.
5d8.
And it is on, so it's a 20 foot. So it's going to be somewhere back there, so it misses me and just gets that guy. And d8s, let's see.
D8 or you okay with roll?
I can roll
I
mine,
got
it's fine.
5,
I think it's more suspenseful doing it.
Yeah.
Almost
You
one
go
by
ahead.
one.
Oh!
So- Starting off with 5 and a 3, so 8. Another 6 to that.
13.
And we'll go purple. That's an 8, so
22.
that's not good enough, but 22.
Okay. So as the air pulses back from behind it, washing over this creature, who is not affected.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that you done?
High Priestess uses her action to dash 80 feet in the ways of the walls.
Okay. Right. So it tries to claw you again. For 12. And then tries to bite you a second time.
15, 20, 30, 30.
Oh,
Okay, no, isn't it?
Oh, it's that way.
Okay.
For a 6.
Oh.
Oh.
So it lays down on you twice more and as this magical barrier holds it off. top of the round. So you guys are just coming out of the halls, heading over to Rasfin's place for the most part. When this grey cat comes powering up the steps.
That cat like fizzing the fish.
We've seen. Isn't that?
I think you saw him conjure it and
Yeah.
send it out
I
from
fed it
there.
a fish earlier on.
I
that's
mean,
all.
you're in tune to familiars. I at least know
Yes.
you.
What are we talking about?
The cat. I
The
fed this
cat,
cat a
that's-
fish
What cat?
earlier on.
Did we see
Yeah,
the
I
cat?
did.
Actually, we do see the
Yeah,
cat.
you've seen the cat. Yeah.
Yeah, because I fed it a fish earlier on. I was
Yeah,
like,
you already killed them.
High
it's
priestess.
Starfinder's
High
cat.
priestess.
Hello, cat.
What's wrong?
It's not its turn yet, so it can't move.
Yep.
Take us to your master.
All right. So what we're going to do? We're going to go one more round,
That's fine.
and then
Do you want initiative
you can
roll?
follow the cat. Yeah, let's go initiative,
Then I get
and then
fucking
We'll
saved.
sort that out while you.
Yep.
it's. But otherwise, it's High Priestess a go. She's gone that. Starfinder's your go.
Yeah. So on. Yeah. A wizard with no spells. I
got
do
a
have
16.
one combat one actually. It is cantrip.
So High
It's
priestess
only
got
D6
16.
will work.
That's all I need.
No, I got 3.
17.
So it's I'm gonna use my only damaging spell, Frostbite.
17.
Okay.
It's Constitution save, and that's why I didn't want to use it because it's probably gonna get.
What's your plus?
Constitution save.
Oh, mine's mine's a +2.
All right.
My dex is.
It's a 15.
It's gonna
14.
succeed. Nothing.
My
+2.
my initial's a +2 as well.
Gone.
I have a +2 as well.
You guys just have to decide.
Oh, they're all nice.
Well, I don't think I'm in the command.
So there's
Oh, no,
a
you're
white
right.
spreads
Sorry,
over it,
That's a-
You're a
and
cat.
flicks its fur in,
Sorry,
just
I got confused.
shatters off it.
Me first. So
Goes
Come
for
on.
It goes
Come
for
on,
attack
yeah.
again. With the claw, it's going to be a 16 this time.
Go for it.
16 is your AC, isn't it?
15. I've only got Dex of +2, so it's 13 +2.
So you're looking at 8 points of damage.
Okay.
And it's going to go for a bite again. It's going to hit you with its bite. For 5 points of piercing damage.
Falls unconscious.
Okay. So on that note, top of the round, you follow in the cat. It goes out into the street, and you look to the side, and you can just see the thing, this wolf-like creature, you've seen a werewolf before, towering over Starfinder as he drops to the ground from his mouth.
How far away are we?
You are 30 feet away now, so you could move and get all the way up to it. Not that I imagine that's what you would do.
Hand to hand, Raspin.
I've got this.
Stay back.
I'm 30 foot away.
30 foot away.
And he's on the floor.
He's on the floor.
I am going to cast. What level is it normally at? Not tried this before. Life transference.
Oh, okay.
That's a good.
Nice. Yeah, exciting.
Yep. I don't want these to be high. That's 11 points. Plus 6. 11 plus 6 is 17. You get 34 points of healing.
I only have 14.
I take 17 points of damage.
Yeah.
And I will shout at the creature. Come and play.
Okay. Rasvin extends his hand towards the alleyway. You see blood start to seep from his neck and run down Rasvin's body, staining his clothes. Come and play. All right. Bear.
I see Starfinder fall.
Mm-hmm.
We're 30 feet away.
30 feet away.
I run straight up, entering a rage as I see him fall.
I'd love to know how Bear enters a rage.
Only at this part, the bear that's on him, there's a slight tingling coming, like a slight coloration coming from the bear around him.
Okay.
And he dashes straight up to alongside, and just goes to swing a massive punch
Go for
straight at his head. God, this is the first time I've actually attacked with this guy. Oh my god!
79
This guy's never actually punched anybody.
high level motherfuckers.
Okay, so I should have been prepared for that one.
Yeah,
Actions, +5, 17.
That's going to hit.
1d8, 5,
Yeah,
8,
yeah.
plus 2, 10 damage. Just lamps him straight on the nose.
10 bludgeoning.
10 bludgeoning damage.
So it's towering over Starfinder. You run over, it looks up towards Rasfin, and then you, almost not noticing you barreling up to the side of it, you slam the side of its head. Slightly there's a hole to the side, its body twisting with the weight of your blow. Anything else?
No, because you can't grapple it, otherwise an action is to grapple and stuff. So.
Dramos.
Can it make a... Well, I'm going to summon a hound.
Of course you are.
Well, yeah, it gets disadvantage when I summon a hound and it goes next to him.
Yeah.
No, I didn't want it.
We've got hounds in here. Hounds are plenty.
Hound of Winter?
So he needs to make a wisdom saving throw. Just a medium size. 1.
Take that one. That's the view.
That's the... Yeah.
He needs
So
to make
do
a wisdom saving throw.
At disadvantage.
A disadvantage.
Going down.
Right next to him.
It literally makes no difference. 11.
Cool, that's a fail. Seven, 8, 9, 13, 18, 22, 20. Sorry, lost track. 13, 18, 19, 20, 21, 23 points of psychic damage.
Okay. Is that you done?
Where are you, sorry?
I'll probably be just behind Rastin.
Over that way. They're just off the board over there.
Oh, well, that way, sorry.
Yeah. So the halls are out there, and this is a side alley that he came down.
Hound is gonna pounce. I want to say that's a 19. It is a 19.
Okay.
Can you make a strength saving throw, please?
That'll be a 1.
It's not prone. And he takes 5, 6, 7, 8 piercing damage from the hound.
Okay.
Action, bonus action, summon the wolf. That's it.
Starfinder.
Shit, I'm up already.
Yeah. You're knocked down to the ground. Your eyes open. You're prone.
Oh, fuck. Where do you use that shit?
But your eyes open to see bear pounding into this thing and another wolf attacking the first wolf.
Oh.
The wolf is here. It's just a shadowy form of the wolf. Shadows just pouring off him.
I'm not... All good?
Yeah, you seem to be absolutely fine.
Better than you were before.
So, alright, I'm just gonna stand up, half movement, and take out the let's say dagger, it's more of a letter opener that's been holding up my hair and just sort of flows down, and just one Ken knock on it, give that a slash.
Okay.
Just because it's the only thing I can do now. Yeah, no. It's just a swing and miss.
What do you get?
7.
That is a miss.
Yeah. So from there, I'm...
Yeah, so a reflex swing with
a reflex, and just from on that swing, I'm backing up.
Alright.
There, and I'm not worried about an attack of opportunity because it's probably going to hit me anyway.
He doesn't take one.
Okay.
Having just been knocked down to the ground by the thing, I think it's surprised by that.
And at this point,
Oh, yeah.
because right, come up close as well, because
Alright.
you know,
Haven't you?
she likes me.
I'll run in and take that spot which has just been made vacant for me. Thank you.
Harbinger goes full over.
I like the fact you got about 100 swords in your back.
Yeah, I'm gonna take out Blood Fang.
How much do you want about
One of these.
Tell us by the width of the handle.
But no bubble sword. Is it?
And mid side.
He's on the opposite side, isn't he? Sorry, the Shadow Hound.
Yes, it is.
And he's prone anyway.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realise he don't have a
one
friend.
on his strength check.
Let's go ahead. It's 28. Um, 12 points of damage on the first attack.
Okay.
Another 28 here on the second attack. And 12 points of damage on the second attack as well. It's all radiant.
Okay. So 2 swipes with your sword, both finding flesh, accompanied by blinding flashes of white light seeping through the wound as you cut.
And I was thinking of Duran. Duran or whatever his name is.
All right.
Doo-doo.
Doo-doo, yeah.
Okay, so he's going to get back to his feet. And he's going to attempt to run.
Can I attempt to grapple as he tries to run?
You can't, can you? Unless you've got the ability to allow you to do that.
You can't grapple, but you can smack him.
You can't do a reaction grapple.
No, you can't do that, can you?
Unless you've got, I think there's a feat.
I've got unarmed fighting.
Grapple,
Grappling
yeah.
specialist only means I can just do extra damage if I grapple.
There's a specific grapple feat that
Yeah.
allows you to do that, yeah.
I think I might find my fine and get him. I'll just punch him.
Okay.
No, it's only a 10.
Okay, that's a miss.
Swing and a
I'm
miss.
gonna try
Swing
and
out.
The wolf's gonna.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
got somebody opposite him. Do I get
Yeah.
all advantage on that?
You do have advantage on that, yeah.
Even worse.
No, I'm pretty sure it's a specific grapple feat that allows you that.
Well,
Tavern Ball
that's
with
The
not
one on
even
a
a
20.
dirty- That's not even a dirty 20.
Implies weapons as a
I've got a
D4.
third level spine.
But I think the anti-grapple was...
I was just going to ask for a strength check.
He's gonna run. I don't want
Strength check.
How
You might fall
you?
down.
Oh, it's your helmet attack.
Yeah,
isn't it?
that's
He's going to have a strength check.
You ain't need it.
From 19 this time.
That's a lot of damage there. That's 11, 18 damage.
Okay.
And the hand will follow. The hand has to.
13 radiant.
Okay. He turns and leaps, like leaping through the air, going for the building, like it's going to climb up. And as it runs in the air, Harbinger's sword finds its back, slices through it. It drops down to the ground in a heap, shrinking in size with its fur seeping back into the body.
He's a human.
Yeah, a girl there, not even 20 years old. Her clothes ripped and bedraggled. She lies face down on the floor, blonde hair covering her face.
Can I try and give her a point of lay on hands? I know it's not my turn of initiative.
Okay. You run over and put your hands on her. Good, we'll take you out of initiative. We don't need to do this. And
Just the one.
so you run over and do lay on hands. Meanwhile, Gartok, you get down to the southern docks. There's a different guard on the gate this time, a woman, but she doesn't pay any attention.
No, just a little. I'll be a little grey cat.
You scuffle
Go on
through the
through.
gate. Where do you want to go?
Back towards that warehouse that he showed us before.
Alright. Get down to the warehouse. There are lanterns and lights on in that one. And they're still loading up. They're loading up 2 more wagons.
So if I can get inside, does it appear to be as full as it was earlier in the day?
No. It's about a quarter as full as it was.
But by no means empty.
But not empty now. No, they're still loading up.
And is there anyone around, like Daraz or was it Limo? Limo, that's the one.
Limo.
Anyone like that? Anyone's the more kind of entourage type people? Are they
You see Limo nearby, but no one else you recognise.
I'll just pat my way around. Is he saying anything in particular? Can I catch it? What he's saying?
You should go nearby and listen. He's just guiding the workers to Get them up and get them out there. I know it's late, but the situation's changed. I'm going to make sure it all gets out there.
And I'll head off outside and head towards the Weary Sailor, wouldn't it? Head towards the Weary Sailor.
Okay. There's as you get close to it, you see the decking area that you sat on. It's got a whole bunch of people on there, and they're sitting and drinking. And it looks like the common folk.
Essentially, I'm walking around looking for Daraz to see if he's around.
He's there. He's sat with a bunch of the dockhands.
And I want to try and listen to what he's saying.
So you go there for a while.
No, I'll go around and just pour a couple of people and cat things.
A few people come and scratch your neck and things like that. The conversation is on the lines of, we'll do our best to clear as much of it as we can. But I want the sentries to watch out for any unusual activity. See any sign of any suspicious ships, we've got to know about that straight away. Yeah. And then they talk about the trireme, and apparently they've put up a few of these guys in a building a bit further down the docks now. So they've unloaded from the ships.
So I've got quite a while with Wild Shave. I've got 2 casts of an hour, so I can go for 2 hours essentially, so I can get a while. I would endeavour to try and find that warehouse if I can. I know there's tons of warehouses, so I don't know exactly which one, but I'll...
Yeah.
It will be a blind guess essentially.
Give me an investigation check with disadvantage.
Yeah. What's a cast?
I do have it on me. What are you looking for?
The investigation, so it's intelligence of a cat, basically.
-4.
That's a 0 then.
Yeah. No, you move around the streets, checking out various buildings. You find plenty of deserted warehouses or damaged warehouses, and you spend a couple of hours at it, and you think it's going to wear off soon.
Yeah, because I can get a maximum of 2 hours. So it'd be a case of when I know it's about to run out, I'll be essentially dashing for the border again, and I'll just revert back when I'm out of sight.
All right. So you head back up. You lay hands on the girl, and she takes a breath.
She look just like any further in growing back.
No. She just looks like a girl.
I will. I'm going to drop 5 points of lay on hands into her to clear her of any diseases or poisons.
It becomes more lucid as you do that. Opening her eyes and looking around at the streets, seeing the people around her. The huge form of bear
towering over the top of her, keeping an eye on Harper.
Do you know where you are?
Where am I?
You're in Miss House.
Miss House, yes.
Close to the marketplace.
She looks at you clearly now. She's got brown eyes. Her skin has got a tan look to it, but her hair is blonde.
Well, where were you last? Where do you last remember being?
I don't remember. I was in bed. I was in bed, and I heard someone coming up the stairs. And I don't know.
It's okay. It's alright. You're with safe hands now.
She looks up, she sees Ras from the blood all down his front. I don't know. Where am I?
I'll try and help her sit her. I think you've had a lapse of consciousness, of memory. Something affecting you. Do I get the sense she's being honest about what she, whether she knows or not? 11.
She seems scared, confused.
We need to get to her to a temple.
Yeah. Which temple?
Any which is open and has a priest up.
Do you want me to carry her?
If you wouldn't mind. Is it okay if my friend here carries you?
It's okay.
He's very friendly.
A persuasion check from you.
I'm very nice. 18 plus something.
Okay. I'm not sure if I can stand.
It's okay. And he scoops her up, lifts her up.
Gar or Imogen or
Not Gar.
Imogen.
Imogen's closest one to here. Isn't it?
Yeah, let's go to it. Well, no, Gar's close to here. But let's go
Gar's
to
like
Imogen.
to
Imogen's
move her
in
on
the
to the
area.
next life.
What about Unlight?
I don't know. I haven't looked at it on a map for ages.
Imogen's
Probably
fine,
close.
because we know Ingaro's there. Starfinder, are you okay?
Oh, yeah,
Are
good.
you bit?
Well, there was, I think.
Oh,
Well,
look.
is there a marker? I mean, it's kind of hard to, I'm being serious. Can you take a look at this?
If I look at it, does it look like it's a bite mark?
His neck looks completely fine.
It's been healed.
You look fine.
Rastin has a nasty bite mark on his neck there.
Do you need me to look at that?
Yeah, see,
Rasvin,
Yes.
your spell, how does it work?
Transfer some of my life essence to somebody I deem is in need.
Does it transfer wounds? Because you were nowhere near that wolf.
Not that I am aware of. It's the first time I've used the spell.
Maybe best to have you checked, both of you checked.
I mean, just by the nature of your words of the spell, transference. I don't think I've ever heard of a wound being transferred, but you were back there, and yeah, you're right. We should probably both be looked at.
I'm happy for Engar to cast his eye over us.
Yeah.
That was very ominous. I like it.
He's a strange fellow.
Not at all. I would be remiss if I didn't say thank you.
You're welcome. You've shown us you to be a useful fella.
This is what we do, Starfinder.
Figure that.
We don't make people fear. We try to protect. Sometimes that means taking
Is she
aggressive action.
naked or has she got
She's got clothes on her, but they're ragged and torn.
I just try and pull like a sheet or something and try and wrap her up in my arms and just hold her in place.
Alright.
She just
Temple of
deserves
Imogen.
being attacked
Temple
in
of
the form
Imogen.
she was. She needed to be.
So it's logical to sort of wrap it up there, unless you want to have the conversation in Temple of Imogen. We're at coming up to 11.
It's going to be one of those. How long is that conversation going to take?
Yeah, because I would prefer to get it done rather than got plans.
I'm happy to go on.
How are you feeling?
I'm fine. Well, let's have another few minutes. See what happens. If things get spicy, then I'll see. So, your group.
Is Gartok back?
Gartok will come back by the time you're coming out the alleyway.
Okay.
It took me a couple of hours, didn't it?
Oh yeah, you spent a couple of hours. Yeah, so no, Gartok won't be around. So unfortunately, you won't be around for this bit. Yeah.
No. Just
Yeah.
to wrap things up for me, all I would have done is I would have gone to the Temple of Unlight,
Yep.
and I will spend the night, if it's still standing, in that room that I stayed in ages ago with the moonlight, essentially.
Yeah. Okay. No problem. Yeah.
I'm in bed there, and that would be me for the night, basically.
Nice.
I'd completely forgotten it was a 2-hour stint for you doing that
Yeah.
thing. So yeah, so just your party without Gartok heads off to Temple of Imogen, which you find not going to build it again now. You know.
Okay.
You so go into the large frontal room, and the chairs in here alter, burnt hangings on the one side. Looks like someone's attempted to repair it. No one in the main room. Door off to the left. 2 doors on the back wall. It's got a nice domed ceiling here. You've been here before. You know what it's like.
Angaro?
Just a moment, you hear from the back room, and Ingaro comes out, towel around his waist, looking bronzed.
As always.
It's seeing you here. Please forgive the state of the place. It is a terrible mess, and I've not had time to get everything sorted. It's been nothing but chaos since I came back in here. And and who are you?
Starfinder. I've been accompanying these for the past 12 hours.
You look. Are you okay? You look very bedraggled. I mean, I think you have a magnificent look to you, and it's very striking. Yeah, let me sit you down. Are you okay?
Yeah. On occasion with a lady. We may have a weird problem that may have some looking to needed. Give you the short version. I was bitten, but through arcane means, the marks appeared on him.
We'll pull the thing apart.
I see. It's very unusual that. I think it might be necessary for me to do a little bit of an examination on you, just look you over, check the flesh, and ensure that nothing is spreading inside you in an unpleasant way. As long as you consent to my examination, of course.
Of course. Absolutely.
You briefly hear from the back room. Please excuse that. I have a slightly reluctant patient who I've had to temporarily restrain. But we are all friends here, and I think you can trust me. When I have finished with them, I feel that they will be, shall we say, properly treated for their affliction.
I'm not the sort of person to say insight check, but I feel like I have to for this one.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
That's a natural 20.
Natural 1. He's being evasive about what he's saying, but there is some truth there.
My consent to that has gone from definitely to sure. But go ahead.
Alright. So he goes to examine Rasfin's first. If you just a moment, and I'll just have a look at this injury of yours. He places his hand on your neck and turns your head to the side, puts his other hand on the other side of your neck, and just slides it around to the back of your head and turns your head from side to side, twists it. You see him muttering under his breath as he's talking. You are a intense amount of flesh, are you not, Rasfin? There's a obscene amount of power in this small form.
I wield power when I need to. For good, I hope.
Well, I feel some natural resistance to my efforts to probe you, but I don't detect anything malign affecting you in a physical level.
That is good. I granted some of my health to Starfinder, who was on the floor.
Oh, you took his injury and made it your own?
I gave up some of my life essence to heal him.
This is wonderful. I wish I knew how to do such a thing. I would love to be able to take somebody else's, what has happened to them, and take it on myself, and what an ability that must be. do you think the help you could do to people?
It was necessary. He was out cold and seemed to be towered over by the form that woman was in. Clearly a wolfish form.
So this power you have that you learned, it is you could see someone who has been injured or in intense form of pain and then just take it from them and unto yourself. You could feel what they felt in that moment.
Doesn't feel what they felt more. I inflict myself with wounds, and that allows me to grant other people some semblance of healing. It's an arcane way of healing. It's not like your divine power where I can grant health.
No, I suppose so. It is a power you make for yourself rather than one that is given to you.
Correct. So the arcane powers allow me to take the life that's drawn from me and grant it to somebody else.
Very interesting. Well, let us have a look at Starfinder. If you consent now to my examination.
Sure.
And he does the same sort of thing, places a hand on your neck where you're injured and slides his hands over your shoulders and around the back of your head, probing for any sign of injury. I'm afraid that there is something dark inside you. I think you have a curse upon you. It is okay as long as we get to it quickly. I can assist with ridding you of the curse, if you wish this.
I can as well.
Well, usually I'd say yes in this situation, but the fact you said, if I wish... What exactly is wrong with me?
I think you have an affliction that will change you over time and turn you into a lycanthrope.
See, quite frankly, I'm tired of pretending to be wrong. So go ahead.
Just take a little bit of time to put this spell. I'm going to encourage you to take some time, rest yourself in this room while I remove the affliction from your friend.
I also have her.
I need to examine her as well.
Where would you like me to put her?
Or just put her on the altar, that'll be fine.
Okay.
Okay. So he takes a little bit of time.
Does she let me put her on the altar?
She does, she doesn't resist. And he removes curse on you. Your lycanthropy is removed. Because long story short, then he spends a bit of time examining the girl. And it is a similar thing. The afflictions have you, but it is different. You were infected. She is a trueborn. I cannot remove this in the same way.
Trueborn.
She was born this way.
Is there any way that we can...
It would take some research. There are spells which are way beyond my ability.
What is your name, child? That's the good.
I don't remember. I don't even know. I don't remember.
Do you know where you're from?
I remember the trip being on a boat with my father. I remember we travelled across the sea from Kazara. Why can't I remember my name? Hush now, hush.
How often do you find yourself in places you don't remember? I'm guessing there.
I don't know. I'm trying to think right now. All I remember is being on the boat. Where's... I don't know where I'm from. I remember being on the boat. I remember being in my bedroom. I remember my father coming to see me. But he kept me in the bedroom. I would hear people. There would always be people downstairs and voices, but why don't I remember my name?
Do you remember your father?
Yes.
What's his name?
His name is...
Don't trouble yourself.
Describe it. He has skin like mine, beard, black with grey flecks in it, favours blue, robes. She describes quite effectively Yannick.
I knew it.
Sorry.
Yanis.
Yannick, the
I
potion
don't-
seller.
Potions maker. Is he dead? Do you know
We
where he
don't
is?
know.
Where is he?
With the crowd of people.
Hmm?
He's with the crowd of people that brought him back to town.
Okay.
But he's lost his hands and tongue, isn't he?
Can't heal that.
So what you missed was that he was affected lycanthropy. Ngaro cured him, but then suspected the girl and said she was true-born. She was born with this affliction and he cannot remove it.
And there's Yanis' daughter.
Came from Kazar on the boat.
Zara.
I will. Are we? What are we doing with her? Are we taking her with her? Is she leaving her here? What's?
We need to. What would you like to be called? If you can't remember your name, you can give yourself a new one.
Lasai.
Lasai. Well, Lasai, it is nice to meet you.
I don't think it is my name.
It is your name for now. And if we can find a way of making you remember your original name, then we can change it, or you can keep your new one.
On that note, we will wrap it up. Everybody's released from their obligations, so yeah, that's why we'll leave it for tonight. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good run.
So you're in a bit of a. We didn't get XP for the previous session.
Yeah, so it will be.
I wasn't here for the previous session, so.
You need that?
So the previous session was a clean 300.
Yep.
And this session will be a 350 for everybody.
So if you did both, it's 650.
I will describe my farm, but we can more than happy to do that over Facebook if you want.
It is fully it is intact. You can see there's still some animals and some people working there. Your farm, fortunately, was one of the northernmost.
Yeah, it was.
So they didn't get that far.
Good. There's some money to be made here.
Somebody wanted a nice steady